Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Naruto. The Age of Ninja Swordsmen begins from the Hidden Cloud Village. Chapter 41. The five Todai didn't pause at all and returned to the ninja army station. Dodai looked at the two large scrolls and the girl who was glaring at someone, frowning. Because of that kid's troubles, although they gained huge benefits, it also caused many variables in the plan. Lord Todai, there is no need to worry. With these backgrounds and this girl, the Uzumaki clan leader will definitely be more inclined to our cloud hidden village. Tamura Hao explained that he did it after careful consideration. Despicable villain. Uzumaki Kushina on the opposite side became even more angry and yelled at someone for being despicable. Grandpa had told her to go to Konoha to meet her aunt, but she didn't expect to come to the ninja army of Hidden Cloud Village. Apparently, both she and Grandpa were deceived by that despicable villain. Tamura Hao's face darkened in response to the girl's scolding, and he immediately looked behind the girl with a horrified look on his face, and exclaimed, "Uzumaki clan leader, why are you here?" "Grandfather." Uzumaki Kushina turned her head instinctively, her face became more joyful, and her grandfather had indeed come to pick her up. But when he turned his head, he found that there was nothing behind him. Before he could figure out what was going on, the back of his neck hurt again, and then his consciousness fell into darkness. "I hate it when people scold me." Tamura Hao, who put the girl down, snorted coldly, feeling deeply that the Uzumaki clan's chakra amount was unreasonable. Although this girl is only 10 years old, the amount of chakra she can erupt is greater than that of the Earth platform. Her strength under such chakra can be imagined, and she can only use tricks to capture her. Tutai and Yaoi both twitched when they looked at Tamura Hao, who still needed to use tricks to capture the little girl. Fukai even covered his face, really not wanting to admit that he was his student. "Now I'm thinking about how to deal with it." Tutai rubbed his temples. The changes were too great and he couldn't adjust for a while. Fukai and Yaoi didn't know what to say about this. They were pure combat ninjas, and this kind of brain playing wasn't suitable for them. Tudai had no hope for the two of them, and his eyes fell on Tamura Hao. This kid has a lot of ideas and should be able to provide some inspiration. Seeing Tudai looking over, Tamura Hao said calmly, "According to the previous plan, the three major ninja villages have shown their malice towards us, so we should give priority to destroying one of them, and the most suitable one is Kurigakure village. However, according to the internal situation of Kurigakure village that Master Todai told me before, the third Mizukage's side and the ninja side are becoming more and more antagonistic. We can take the opportunity to intensify their conflict." He even found out the manpower arranged by the third Mizukage in this ninja army, put them back, and gave them the sealing technique that can perfectly seal the 3 tails and 6 tails, and strengthened the power of the third Mizukage's side, allowing them to destroy the Kurigakure village. The ninja clan was destroyed. We took the opportunity to accept some younger ninja members and integrate their blood inheritance and secret techniques into our cloud hidden village. We can even leave some women from the ninja army of Kurigakure village during this war and take them back to the single ninjas in the village. As long as they give birth to children, coupled with the hatred of genocide in Kurigakure village, it should be you can integrate into the village. Moreover, several ninja clans in Kurigakure village are very suitable for our hidden cloud village. For example, the Kagaya clan. If Ij can carry back a kunoichi from the Kagaya clan and give birth to a child. With the Kagaya clan's bone veins and blood to inherit the boundary, without the help of secret medicine at all, he can cultivate the Yaoi clan's heirloom sword by just practicing on his own, and it is even better. Quote. At the end, Tamura Hao clicked on Yaoi. After he decided to use Cloud Hidden Village as the basic base, he had many ideas, especially combined with the Naruto fans he had seen in his previous life. Many of the ideas in it can be learned from it. For example, if Kagaya Kimimaro is allowed to practice 8-gate dungeon, his bone strength will definitely be able to withstand Yikai's explosive power without breaking his bones. If you can practice thunder armor and hell thrust, you will definitely become more powerful. Kagaya Kimimaro hasn't been born yet, but the Kagaya clan can be integrated into the Yozuki clan. It doesn't need to obtain a complete corpse bone vein, as long as it can improve the strength of the bones and body. Moreover, the Kagaya clan itself also has considerable self-healing ability, and when combined with the Yaoi clan's secret techniques, it is even more powerful. If you add the 8-gate dungeon, you can fight against Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama. Yayoi was stunned. She didn't expect that it could be said about herself. For the future of the Yayoi family and the village, brother you must make a choice. This is the consciousness you must have. Of course, it would be fine if you could persuade the third-generation teacher to marry a kunoichi from the Kagaya clan and give birth to the next junior disciple. Quote. Tamura Hao persuaded him seriously, this is definitely a good thing. I'll do it. After opening her mouth, Yayoi finally did not dare to say anything to persuade her father to marry a concubine. Otherwise, her mother would be the first to chop her into pieces when she returned without her father taking action. I can only do it myself, hoping to find someone who is not ugly. It's an idea. Rolling his eyes at a certain boy, Tutai agreed with this idea. If you just capture the kunoichi in the Kurigakure village ninja army, even if you take them back to get married and have children, you may not necessarily surrender to them in the Kurigakure village. The will of a ninja is not easily shaken. But if the third Mizukage side kills the hostile ninja clan in the village, it will be equivalent to severing the bond between those people and Kurigakure village. With the blessing of marriage and children, there is a high probability that those people will return to the village. It's just that this matter needs more thought and perfection, and a decision will be made after the third generation comes. Aren't you afraid that the Uzumaki clan leader will cause trouble for you later? Immediately, he glanced at the girl who had been knocked unconscious. Tudai could imagine the rage of the Uzumaki clan leader at this time, and he probably wanted to tear this brat alive. What can he do if the deal is already done? And if you want to cause trouble for me, you have to survive this time first. I have full confidence in Konoha. Tamura Hao really didn't care, especially after confirming that the boy who accompanied Sarutobi Shinosuke on his mission to Uzumaki Hidden Village was most likely Aburame Shiguro. He became even more sure that Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo-sama didn't want to let the Uzumaki clan survive. Go down. It makes sense that the future Aburame Taken would be regarded as a trump card by Danzo Shimura, as he is a terrifying strategic existence. That kind of nano-poisonous insect is too hidden, too deadly, and extremely difficult to detect. Once it is deployed in advance, and the war situation is more difficult to detect and deal with, it will be difficult for the Uzumaki clan to leave a whole corpse behind. There are quite a few variables on Konoha's side. We don't know how much power Hiruzen Sarutobi and Danzo Shimura will use. Tudai is looking forward to this. From this aspect, their goals overlap with those of the third Hokage. The plan to attack the Uzumaki clan itself was based on what the third Hokage and others had done. The stronger the murderous intention of the third Hokage and the others towards the Uzumaki clan, the better. Only in this way can the Uzumaki clan's thoughts about Konoha be cut off. Then after the first Hokage's wife passes away, the Uzumaki clan can completely belong to their cloud-hidden village. Thinking of the Sarutobi Shinosuke he met before and the deep murderous intention of the other party towards him, Tamura Hao said, and that Sarutobi Shinosuke, the son of the Hokage, I remember Lord Todai said that the third generation of Hokage's physical skills mainly relied on the psychic beast Ape King the Monkey Demon, the son of the Hokage, should also have signed a psychic contract with the Monkey Clan. If we catch him, we will definitely be able to interrogate many of Konoha's secret ninjutsu, even the forbidden techniques in the Book of Sealings, especially the powerful flame technique of the Sarutobi clan. Then he controlled him to channel the Ape King and the Ape Demon, and ask the third generation teacher to suppress it, and then ask the strong men of the Uzumaki clan to help seal the psychic contract to prevent the Ape King from running away. Then use the Ape King to obtain the psychic contract of the Ape Clan, and then reversely channel the third generation teacher to the Ape Clan and destroy them. This will definitely greatly weaken the strength of the third Hokage and the Sarutobi clan. It seems that the Ape Demon of the third Hokage still has an indestructible body. This is of great research value, and the corpse after research should also be used as medicine. Hearing these words, the three people present could not help but have their eyelids twitch, it was so yin. But I liked it, so I did it. Todai even sighed, he was indeed a talent trained by Shimura Danzo, he was so sinister. As night fell, a white-haired old man stood on a hill and looked at the lights of the hidden Uzushio village in the distance. Hashirama, this is the world you created, and it is indeed wrong. The old man sighed. He knew that the ninja village system was not correct back then, and now it has been verified one by one, and tragedies have occurred again and again. Now even the Uzumaki clan, which was as famous as the Uchiha and Senju clans back then, is about to be destroyed, and even Konoha is involved. And this is not the end, there will be more tragedies in the future, endlessly. Yes, the old man is Uchiha Madara. Although he has been hiding in the dark for these years, he has been paying attention to the ninja world. Naturally, he has to come and see such a big thing happening in the land of whirlpools. In the past, he was defeated by Hashirama on the surface, but in fact, he was defeated by Hashirama and Mito. Whether it was the sealing scroll used by Hashirama at that time or the technique to seal the 9 tails, they were all from Mito. The Uzumaki clan's sealing technique is still very strong. How can I obtain the power of the universe? Looking down at his skinny palm, Uchiha Madara was a little confused. According to the records on the stone tablet, the two mutually repelling forces, when combined, can give birth to the universe. However, after transplanting Hashirama's cells, although he mastered the wood release, he did not fuse and did not obtain the power of the universe. On the contrary, because of the struggle with Hashirama's cells in his body, his vitality was rapidly consumed and he aged faster. He could feel that he didn't have much time left, at most 1 year. If he couldn't give birth to the power of the universe within a year, he would have to see Hashirama. How to do it? Uchiha Madara was very confused. He didn't know how to fuse the two forces and obtain the power of the universe. Not to mention Uchiha Madara was confused, the Black Zetsu hiding in the dark was also confused. Why don't you open the Samsara Eye? Could it be that Uchiha Madara doesn't have that kind of qualification? Black Zetsu stared at Uchiha Madara in the distance, and was also at a loss about the awakening of the Samsara Eye. In this world, my mother was the first to obtain the Samsara Eye, but she obtained it through the fruit of the sacred tree. The second person to obtain the Samsara Eye was Hagoromo, but it was inherited from her mother. It is too difficult to create a third pair of Samsara Eyes, mainly because there is no reliable reference. The mother's is not a reference, so we can only refer to Hagoromo's Samsara Eye. He can only put his hope on Uchiha. After thousands of years of continuous induction and experimentation, Uchiha Madara is the closest experimental subject. But even so, it is still far from Hagoromo back then. Is it because of the lack of Uzumaki's chakra? Turning his eyes to the distant Uzushiogakure, Black Zetsu pondered this possibility. Although Hagoromo had only 2 sons back then, they only inherited the Sage Eye and Sage Body respectively, but their own chakra was inherited separately, forming the current Uzumaki clan. To a certain extent, the Uzumaki clan is more compatible with the sacred tree. The diamond chain that can bind the tailed beast comes from the 10 tails. And Hagoromo's strongest point is the sealing technique. Seriously speaking, the Uzumaki clan is the purest inheritor of the ninja sect. Its chakra is very special, and it is not an exaggeration to say that it is the chakra of the immortals. Perhaps it needs to be combined with the chakra of the Uzumaki clan to awaken the Samsara Eye. It is just right to use this war to collect their chakra. With a plan in mind, Black Zetsu decided to use this war to collect the chakra of the dead of the Uzumaki clan, and then find a way to let Uchiha Madara obtain it. Maybe it can further stimulate the eyes and evolve the Samsara Eye, so that the plan of infinite moon reading can begin. Taking the initiative to attack, Black Zetsu suddenly seemed to have a sense and looked at the Uzushiogakure again, sensing that some huge chakra individuals left the Uzushiogakure and went to the base of the Mist Village ninja army. Although surprised, Black Zetsu did not think much about it, blended into the earth and quickly lurked over there, preparing to secretly collect the bodies. At the same time, the Hidden Cloud Village also rushed to the base of the Hidden Mist Village ninja army after nightfall as agreed. Thousands of elite cloud ninjas marched rapidly without hesitation, and soon crossed dozens of miles to reach the base of the Hidden Mist Village ninja army. The perception ninjas of the Kurigakure shinobi army naturally sensed the arrival of both parties and were very confused about this, especially the Kumogakure village. The commander of the shinobi army, Ghost Light Zayayu, looked at the position of the Kumogakure shinobi army and was not sure for a moment whether the Kumogakure shinobi village came for the strong men of the Uzushio village who took the initiative to attack, or for their Kurigakure shinobi army. Or whether they came with malice or good intentions. Quickly notify the Sand and Rock shinobi army, and tell them that the Kumogakure Shinobi village and the Uzushio village have joined forces, and ask them to come to support quickly, and we will jointly annihilate the Kumogakure Shinobi. A decision was made quickly, and Ghost Light Zayayu ordered people to immediately ask for help from the Sand and Rock Shinobi army. No matter what the Kumogakure Shinobi village is thinking, they will not fight alone in this battle. After all, the next battle may be a joint siege by the Kumogakure Shinobi army and the Uzushio village, which will be very disadvantageous to them. That is the worst case scenario, but he is not afraid. Although the two sides are powerful together, it is impossible to kill them. At worst, they could retreat to the sea, which was their home ground. However, it was this confidence that made them lose the last chance to retreat and survive. The Uzumaki clan never thought of letting them retreat. The four elders of the Uzumaki clan who arrived first stood in four directions, bursting out chakra and jointly constructing a fiery red barrier, enveloping the entire Mist Ninja army. This is the Four Red Yang formation, a powerful barrier that requires 4 cage-level warriors to work together to cast, and it is both offensive and defensive. These 4 old guys may not be good at other things, but they definitely have enough chakra. Alo Uzumaki was not idle either. After the Four Red Yang formation was formed, she extracted a huge amount of chakra and injected it into the banana fan, waving it to create a sea of fire, first covering the area where the Mizunatsuki clan ninjas were located. What kind of fire escape ninjutsu is this? How can there be such a large-scale fire escape? How is this possible? The Kurigakure ninja army was stunned by the explosion of the sea of fire, especially the Mizunatsuki ninjas in the coverage area were even more terrified. The sea of fire was too large and the temperature was too high, so it was impossible to cast ice escape, and it was also very difficult to cast water escape. And even if they cast water escape, they would only be burned and evaporated into high-temperature water vapor, which would also cause great damage to them. This is not over yet. After Alo Uzumaki burst out all her chakra, she handed the banana fan to an old man of the same clan. The old man had also extracted a huge amount of chakra and injected it into the fan. He fanned it hard, making the sea of fire even larger and more intense. After that, several people took over the banana fan and fanned out powerful fire and wind jutsu. The two strengthened each other, causing the scale and temperature of the sea of fire to soar. I'm afraid this is no worse than the great fire extinguishing performed by the evil Earth Madara. Tiankyun Hao, who followed the team to the outside of the Four Red Yang formation, looked at the sea of fire inside and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. The huge chakra of the Uzumaki clan combined with the banana fan is too powerful. Each fan is not weaker than the great fire extinguishing released by Uchiha Madara. Even a cage-level strongman can't stand it after 10 consecutive times. Not to mention the use of wind jutsu to further enhance the power of the fire jutsu. Too arrogant, too deadly. And this is not over yet. The Uzumaki ninja once again fanned the banana fan, but this time it was not a sea of fire, but countless lightning. Most of the ninjas in the Hidden Mist village are good at water-style ninjutsu, and lightning and fire-style ninjutsu have the greatest restraint on them, especially the Hazuka clan, who are completely restrained by lightning-style ninjutsu. The Kagaya clan was also in trouble, and suffered heavy casualties in this wave of attacks. At this moment, a flash of lightning suddenly fell from the sky and landed in front of the Hidden Cloud ninja army. The lightning dissipated and revealed a burly figure. You really came. Uzumaki Alo ran over with a slight breath, and was very surprised to see the third-generation Raikage coming. You old guy is not dead yet. The third-generation Raikage, who had just finished communicating with Tutai, grinned. He had met Uzumaki Alo once. This is a person of the same generation as his grandfather, and he didn't expect that he is still alive. The Uzumaki clan is indeed a long-lived clan. It will definitely not be a problem to outlive you. Uzumaki Alo said with a smile, and was very satisfied with the personal arrival of the third-generation Raikage. It seems that the sincerity of the Hidden Cloud village is really sufficient. You just survived tonight. The third-generation Raikage sneered, and didn't think that the Uzumaki clan could survive the war tonight, even with the blessing of the banana fan. His expression darkened, and Uzumaki Alo formed a seal to open a portal from the Four Red Yang formation here. The Four Red Yang formation consumes a lot of energy, we can only maintain it for 10 minutes. This was the first joint operation between the two sides, so naturally they couldn't just let the Uzumaki clan do the work, the Hidden Cloud Village also had to do the work. Dodai walked towards Uzumaki Aloe with an inexplicable look on his face, and some of the next plans still needed the assistance of this great elder of the Uzumaki. Keep the formation, follow me. The third Raikage shouted to the cloud ninja behind him, and then he was the first to rush in with black lightning flashing on his body. Hundreds of Jonins followed closely behind, and at the end were thousands of Chunins, fiercely killing into the formation that the Hidden Mist Ninja Army had not yet formed. Third Raikage. The extremely embarrassed Ghost Lantern Zayayu looked at the third Raikage who was rushing over and was confused. The previous strong attack by the Uzumaki clan had caused them a lot of losses, especially the ninjas of the Mizunatsuki clan were all crippled. Now the Cloud Ninja Army came in again, and the leader was the third Raikage. What the hell? Although he had the strength to rival the Mizukage, he had no chance of winning against the stronger third Raikage, who also had the most restrained thunder attribute. At this time, the third Raikage's reputation as the strongest was reflected. He turned into a black lightning and rushed into the Mist Ninja Army wantonly. Wherever the Mist Ninjas gathered, he would rush there, and there was no enemy. The lightning armor and hell stab blessed by black thunder are worthy of the strongest shield and the strongest spear, with both offense and defense, which can be said to be unsolvable. The Cloud Ninja Army behind maintained the formation and swept across, like a cone to push the entire Mist Ninja Army horizontally, and at the same time divided it, further preventing the Mist Ninjas from gathering together to fight. First, they suffered heavy casualties due to a strong blow, and consumed a lot of chakra, and then they were rushed in like this, and the number of people was still at an absolute disadvantage, and the Mist Ninja Army had no power to fight back. The Cloud Village Jonins did not give the Mist Village Ninjas any chance to die together. They targeted the Mist Village Jonins in pairs, and the Chunins behind them cooperated in attacking and killing. The whole battle was one-sided. This was not a battle at all, but a massacre. Even the Mist Village ninjas, who were known as the Blood Mist Village, were about to collapse. Some of them rushed madly to the barrier of the Four Red Yang formation, trying to break out from there. Unfortunately, they all ended up being burned to death. Even if the chakra quality of the four elders of the Uzumaki clan was not as good as the four Hokage in the Four Wars, it was not much different. Even the tailed beast balls could not blast open this Four Red Yang formation, let alone these Mist Village ninjas. Tamura Hao mixed in the Chunin team with a knife to assist in the attack, and at the same time used 6 chakra lines to roll up the detonating talisman to assist in the attack. The chakra was connected with the Phantom of Kagaya to obtain the ability to perceive good and evil, to prevent the Mist Village ninjas from using transformation techniques to sneak in, or pretending to be dead. It would have been fine if it hadn't been connected to Kagaya's Phantom, but once it was connected, it alerted a being hidden in the battlefield. Mom's breath. The black Zetsu hidden in the earth was shocked. He felt his mother's breath, although it was very weak, but he definitely couldn't feel it wrong, and even his own chakra had a slight resonance. He didn't dare to delay and hurriedly moved along the sense, and finally found that the source was a white-haired boy. And the closer he got, the stronger the feeling became, especially after entering the opponent's 10-meter range, it reached a peak. Tamura Hao, who had just cooperated with stabbing a mist-hidden ninja to death from behind, turned his head as if he had sensed something. He sensed a strange thought behind him, which was very strong. But when he turned back, the feeling was gone. He looked at the area in confusion, and when he saw nothing, he turned back to continue to help the siege of those mist ninjas, mainly targeting those ninjas of the Kagaya clan. After killing them, he would go forward and use the chakra absorption technique to absorb the chakra retained in the opponent's body to feed the Kagaya shadow, and then use the sealing scroll to seal the body to prevent it from being damaged by the battle. This is his main purpose for coming to participate in the battle. The Kagaya shadow is the second golden finger he created artificially, with great potential. His 6 paths may fall on the Kagaya shadow. Moreover, the corpse bone vein of the Kagaya clan is to control bones. He is not interested in the way of fighting with bones. He only wants to use the corpse bone vein to increase the hardness of his own bones. The effect will definitely be better when combined with the secret medicine of the Night Moon clan. After absorbing the chakra of a Kagaya ninja, Tamura Hao continued to kill another Kagaya ninja who was besieged. This kind of life and death battle is much stronger than the previous actual combat with Fukai and Night Moon Eye, and it is also a kind of tempering for will. And his actions were seen by the Black Zetsu hiding in the dark, and he became more and more suspicious. Who is that kid? Why does he have his mother's chakra? Tianqian Hao was naturally unable to detect this kind of peeping, and his mind was on collecting the bodies of the Kagaya ninjas. This blood power from Otsutsuki Hamura is also a great tonic for Kagaya's phantom, and is no less powerful than the pupil power of the Sharingan. Yaoi and Fukai were also on the side, specifically targeting those Kagaya ninjas, collecting their bodies, and searching for female Kagaya ninjas. Kagaya ninja bones are one of the main ingredients of the secret medicine. Now that there is this opportunity, they naturally have to collect more, and they can also save a lot of money. As for the Kagaya female ninjas, needless to say, they represent the future. Suddenly, Fukai looked at his student and found that he was being targeted by a young ninja from the Kagaya clan. After seeing that the Kagaya youth was only a chunin, he suppressed the idea of going over to support. It is good for the child to experience the life and death fight alone. Yaoi on the other side also found Tianqian Hao, who was fighting fiercely. He did not disturb him either. He was just ready to provide quick support just in case. The junior brother did not want to be a researcher who was protected behind. He wanted to be a strong man. He and his father admired and agreed with this. The life and death battle is the best way to hone his skills. Tianqian Hao was very excited. This opponent was very suitable for him. Although the opponent's strength was far inferior to Fukai and Yi Kang, he was not weak either. He was a ninja who specialized in physical skills, which was suitable for his opponent at this stage. The strange power combo sword technique was launched, and the two swords attacked continuously. The power provided by the strange power technique and the sharpness of the two swords were indestructible. At least the opponent's current corpse bone vein bones could not resist it completely. Moreover, after the practical guidance of Fukai and Yaoi, his sword technique was improved a lot and became much stronger. The Kagaya youth had a ferocious and crazy look on his face. He knew that he was finished and there was no way he could escape. Now he could only drag someone to be buried with him. The extended bone blade was cut off and regenerated quickly. It was almost a life-threatening fighting style, and he was completely heading for mutual destruction. In response, Tianqian Hao did not stop his continuous attack. Facing the opponent's attack, he only used the armor and the armor plates on his body to resist, which was also a test of the defensive power of these armor plates. And this kind of armor plate has the best defensive effect against physical attacks. Because of this, Tianqian Hao dared to fight against this Kagaya youth one-on-one. The war here has come to an end. There are not many enemies around. In addition, Fukai and Yaoi are watching not far away. There is no need to retain chakra. It is more beneficial for him to have a real life and death battle. The young Kagaya fought more and more crazily, and bloodshot eyes were constantly emerging. He could feel that the little man's chakra was rapidly depleting and he could not hold on for much longer. And judging from the fact that the other party can possess such a high-quality ninja sword, his status in Union Village is definitely not low, and it would be perfect to use it to bury him with him. This is indeed the case. Tamura Hao's current chakra amount is still too small. Even after tempering with Yaoi's secret medicine, the vitality of the body has increased a lot, and the amount of chakra has been increased, but his own chakra qualifications are still too poor, and the improvement is not much. Die. Swinging out the bone blade, the long knife flew away. Young Kagaya laughed wildly and rushed forward, ready to kill it. However, in the face of this blow, Tamura Hao jumped back, and at the same time used chakra thread to stuff a high-quality detonating talisman into his arms from the blind spot of the opponent's vision. No. Realizing that something was in his arms, the young Kagaya roared unwillingly and tried to tear his clothes to take out the detonating talisman, but it was already too late. Bang! There was a roar, and young Kagaya was enveloped in flames. When the flames dissipated, only the charred corpse that was blown into two pieces was left. Who told you that my strongest skill now is swordsmanship? Stabilizing his body, Tamura Hao looked at the two mutilated corpses and sneered, then immediately stepped forward to touch the corpses. His strongest ability now is his money-making ability. This time he came out with thousands of detonating talismans. Seeing that Tamura Hao finally used the detonating talisman to defeat his opponent, Yaoi and Fukai shook their heads with a smile and said nothing more. The amount of chakra is limited, so you can't ask for too much. They all saw the battle just now, and they could see that if it weren't for the chakra limit, Tamura Hao would definitely be able to defeat the young Kagaya. Samebas. After absorbing the chakra remaining in Kagaya's young body, Tamura Hao stood up and looked at the few Kurigakure ninjas left on the battlefield. He was quickly attracted by a fat figure, which to be precise was the weird broadsword in the opponent's hand. That is the great sword Samahata, the first of the 7 great ninja swords of Kurigakure village, and it is also the sword that Tamura Hao wants most at this stage. Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Ghost, turning his eyes to the fat man wielding a big sword and fighting to the death with his beautiful hair, Tamura Hao understood that that person should be the Watermelon Mountain Fugu Ghost of the 7 ninja swordsmen in the future. At this stage, Kurigakure village probably hasn't gathered the 7 ninja swordsmen yet, and they won't be able to do so until 3 battles. Teacher, I want that knife in exchange for the knife in your hand. Tamura Hao decisively approached Fukai, who was also collecting corpses not far away, and expressed that he wanted the same shark. Is that knife strong? Fukai followed Tamura Hao's gaze and became a little interested in that weird broadsword. It seems to be able to swallow ninjutsu. Is it a ninja sword that swallows chakra? Yui ducked over and looked at the fat young man wielding a knife, and saw that some ninjutsu was swallowed up by the knife. His chakra seems to be sufficient after the fight. Is he devouring the chakra from the opponent's ninjutsu to replenish himself? Fukai also saw some clues and understood the student's thoughts. That knife suits you perfectly. Go, chop him up. He twisted his neck ferociously, and the electric light on Yui's body flashed, and he rushed towards the big fat man. Be careful here. Fukai first looked around, and after making sure there was no danger, he gave instructions to Tamura Hao, and then used a thunder identity to watch, and then he killed the big fat man with a ninja sword. Tamura Hao did not dare to be careless and stopped paying attention to the battle over there. He swallowed the Bingliang pill to regain his strength and stared at the surroundings vigilantly, with his sense of good and evil always turned on. He didn't want to end up like the Senju Noju and die on the battlefield. Now that there was not even a tenth of chakra left in his body, he couldn't show off his enthusiasm. Although the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost over there was very powerful with the help of shark muscle, he was quickly defeated by the joint attack of Yui and Fukai. However, he was knocked unconscious after his arms were cut off within a minute. Fukai was very interested in the fat man's hair manipulating ninjutsu. He also has flowing hair, which is perfect for practicing this special ninjutsu. This joint effort between Union Village and the Uzumaki clan caught everyone off guard. No one expected that in such a surrounded situation, the Uzumaki clan would choose to take the initiative. What shocked them even more was that Kumogakure village actually joined forces with the Uzumaki clan to attack the Kurigakure ninja army. Even the 3rd Raikage personally came to the battlefield, which was a massacre for the Kurigakure village ninja army. Even if the ninja army of Kurigakure village gathers the Onodin clan, the Minazuki clan, the Kagaya clan and other major ninja clan elites, a single 3rd generation Raikage is enough to sweep them across, disrupting their combat formation, plus Lei Dun is very restrained against Water Dun, especially against the Ghost Lantern clan, which is even more deadly. With such enemies on both sides and no numerical advantage, nearly 1,000 ninja troops in Kurigakure village were completely wiped out in just 10 minutes. The ninja armies of several ninja villages sent people to monitor each other. They got the news as soon as they took action in Uzushio village and Kumogakure village and knew something was wrong. Chio, the commander of the Sunagakure ninja army, and Nishishito, the commander of the Iwagakure ninja army, immediately ordered to move closer to each other, preparing to unite against the Uzumaki clan and the Kumogakure ninja army. The current situation is not good. They must put aside their past prejudices and join forces, otherwise they will be defeated one by the Uzumaki Kumo ninjas coalition. Especially the existence of the 3rd generation Raikage, no one on their side can compete with them, it is too dangerous. At the same time, Shimura Danzo, who had been hiding in the dark, also frowned. This situation was too different from what he thought. The Uzumaki clan actually joined forces with the Hidden Cloud village first, and even the 3rd Raikage took action. What price did they pay? Or did they surrender to the Hidden Cloud village? Muttering to himself, Shimura Danzo couldn't judge for a while. However, whether it was the former or the latter, it was not what he and Konoha wanted to see. There were not many chips in the Uzumaki clan that could ask the third Raikage to take action personally. Uncle Danzo, what should we do next? Sarutobi Shinosuke asked, and he was also very anxious about the current situation. On the issue of the Uzumaki clan, his attitude was the same as Shimura Danzo, that is, to kill and wipe out. But now the Uzumaki clan actually hooked up with the Hidden Cloud village in secret, and even the third Raikage came to participate in the war in person. That was a top-notch strong man. Even if his father faced him, he would have little chance of winning. Ding Yi, go and inform the ninja commanders of the Iwagakure and Sand villages that I want to surround and kill the third Raikage, and tell them not to disturb us, otherwise I will regard them as enemies and kill them together. After thinking for a while, Shimura Danzo instructed a root ninja behind him. The root ninja didn't say much, and used the instant body technique to quickly leave and headed for the ninja garrisons in Sand Village and Iwagakure. Kazo, go and perform your mission. Then he looked at his trusted subordinate on his left hand. Shimura Danzo had already left a backup plan. Kazo accompanied Sarutobi Shinosuke on a diplomatic mission to Uzushiogakure in the morning. At that time, he left something in Uzushiogakure, something that was enough to destroy Uzushiogakure. Yes, Lord Danzo. Kazo jumped to Uzushiogakure, ready to trigger the secret treasure at close range to spread the poisonous insects inside. Let's go. Follow me to meet the strongest Raikage in history. Shimura Danzo drew out the ninja sword from his back and used the instant body technique to rush out of the forest where he was hiding. If it was the third Raikage in his prime, he would definitely have a hard time against him, but he had just experienced a great battle and must have consumed a lot of energy. In addition, the wind escape can restrain the lightning escape, so he is confident that he can fight against it, and even if the conditions are right, it is not impossible to kill it with his sword. Shimura Danzo and his ninjas marched quickly here to rush towards the Kumogakure ninja army who was still stationed at the Kurigakure ninja army. The two Chiyo siblings on the other side heard Ding Yi's words and immediately understood what Shimura Danzo and Konoha were thinking. It's so disgusting. The look of disgust on Chiyo's face was so disgusting. I hope there will be more opponents like this. Ebizo was smiling, he liked such an opponent very much. You're getting sicker too. Looking at his younger brother with disgust, Chiyo looked solemn and ordered, the whole army will attack. After Konoha and Kumo ninja fight, they will immediately attack Uzushiogakure village and fight quickly. The first goal is to seize the sealing technique. Quote, judging from the available intelligence, Cloud Hidden Village is serious about it this time. Not only are all the elites dispatched, but even the third generation Raikage is dispatched. That was said to be the strongest Raikage in history, and his strength was extremely terrifying. There are not many people on Konoha's side, even if they are elite, they won't be able to stop them for long. They must fight quickly and retreat after getting the necessary sealing techniques. If there is a chance, destroy the Uzumaki clan and eradicate it to avoid becoming a future trouble. Luo Sha was very excited. It was finally time for the decisive battle, but it was a pity that he did not face Yun Ninja, otherwise he would have wanted to find a chance to destroy that Tamura Hao. His mind is too terrifying, and he will definitely be a formidable enemy to Sunagakure village in the future. The sooner he is killed, the better. On the other hand, Garura and Ikang beside them had mixed feelings. To be honest, they had a good impression of the kid. They hoped that the kid wouldn't die in this war. On the other side, the Iwagakure ninja army also received the word information from Ding Yi. The commander of the ninja army, Seishido, made the same judgment and decision as the Chiyo siblings and ordered the ninja army to quickly attack Uzushiogakure village. The strong men of Uzushiogakure village had just joined forces with Kumogakure to attack the Kurigakure ninja army, which must have consumed a lot of money. It was a good time to attack. As soon as the ninjas from several forces refined chakra and launched an attack, several clan elders who had just returned from Uzushio village sensed it. It's the chakra of Danzo Shimura, and the chakra of hundreds of people, all at the Junin level. Judging from the movement direction, they are going to the Cloud Ninja. Those brats from Iwagakure and Sunagakure village should also be coming to kill them. Quote, Uzumaki Aloe, who was constantly swallowing Bingliong pills to forcibly restore his chakra, sensed it and immediately looked at the clan leader, who was also his eldest nephew. The other four clan elders looked at the clan leader with anger. This person had obviously been here in Konoha for a long time, but he had been hiding in the dark until now, and immediately attacked their ally Kumo ninja. It's not his uncle's fault to cover up. Let the children retreat from the tunnels, and all women under 35, single or married, retreat. Uzumaki Masahiko said dejectedly. The result he least expected to happen happened. Although this is not the will of Konoha as a whole, nor is it the intention of the Senju clan and my sister, it is fatal to them, the Uzumaki clan. After a while, he calmed down and took a deep breath. Masahiko Uzumaki stood up and glanced at the people present with a look of determination. The survival of the village and the family depends on this battle. Gentlemen, wish us good luck in martial arts. Prosperous military fortune. Uzumaki Alo and others stood up, all with determination on their faces. This is their home, and they will not give up. Now that the juniors have a way out, they don't have to worry about it. They can just fight, making the invaders pay a heavy price, and it is also a kind of break. At the same time, the Kumogakure Ninja Army, which was cleaning the battlefield at the Kurigakure Ninja Army Station, also took action, preparing to attack the Konoha Ninja. Although they had just experienced a big battle and suffered a lot of losses, there were not many people coming from Konoha this time, so it was not difficult to stop them. At the seaside not far away, Dodai and Uzumaki Alo's shadow clone handed a scroll to a Kurigakure Anbu squad leader. This person is a member of the Anbu of the 3rd Mizukage, and this time he was sent to accompany the army to monitor the ninjas of the ninja clan. He had heard about the situation inside Kurigakure village, because the 2nd generation Mizukage, Kaiden Genjutsu, united with several major ninja clans to seize the position of the current 3rd generation Mizukage. After the 3rd generation Mizukage came to power, he was very difficult to deal with the ninja clan. He even devised a blood mist policy to weaken and suppress the ninja clan. The two sides could be said to be full of contradictions and even at odds with each other. This is a point that can be exploited, and if used properly, the hatred of the Kurigakure village ninjas can be diverted from this incident. The plan we promised Mizukage has been completed. This is a sealing technique suitable for sealing the 3 tails and 6 tails. I hope that in the next war, Kurigakure village can form a permanent alliance with our Uzushiogakure village and Kumogakure village to help each other. Quote. The Uzumaki Alo shadow clone expressed his stance with a kind look on his face, without the resentment he had just felt towards the Kurigakure ninja army. The earthen platform next to him also had a friendly look on his face, which had been planned for a long time. The Anbu captain still looked confused. Is this Master Mizukage's plan? He used Cloud Hidden Village and Uzumaki Hidden Village to destroy the elite ninja clan in the village, and also obtained the sealing technique that can seal the tailed beast. All I can say is, you are worthy of Mizukage-sama. The few Kurigakure Anbu ninjas who survived behind also sighed secretly, understanding that all this was Master Mizukage's plan. Hi, our Kurigakure village, Kumogakure village and Uzushiogakure village will be firm allies. Although confused, the Anbu captain responded immediately. No matter what, his life was deliberately left behind, and he was also given this tailed beast sealing technique, so there shouldn't be any lies. And he was only a squad leader. The captain also followed the ninja army this time, but unfortunately he died on the battlefield. I think the captain should know this. Although the captain died unfortunately, the task of the Mizukage-sama had to be completed and the tailed beast seal technique had to be brought back. We won't continue to send it. Say hello to the Mizukage-sama on our behalf. Dodai smiled, and it was great that the other party cooperated so actively. With the help of this person, the pot was thrown on the Mizukage's head, causing a commotion inside the Hidden Mist village. Even if the 3rd Mizukage knew that they were plotting against him, it would be useless because the tailed beast seal technique was real. Say hello to the 3rd Reikage-sama and the Uzumaki clan leader on our behalf. The captain of the Dark Department responded seriously, and then asked his men to raise the sails and sail into the sea quickly with the help of the wind. The 3rd Mizukage is really cruel. The Uzumaki Alo shadow clone sighed as he looked at the ship getting farther and farther away, and glanced at the sea from the corner of his eye. The water transformation technique of the Hazuka clan is indeed very concealed in the water, but it is nothing in front of the perception of their Uzumaki clan. He was deprived of the position of Mizukage by the 2nd generation Mizukage because he was not ruthless enough. After suffering a loss, he will naturally not be soft-hearted again. Only by destroying those ninja clans can he sit safely on the position of Mizukage. Tatoi said in cooperation, indicating that it was all the fault of the third-generation Mizukage. The two talked here for a while before leaving. After the two left, a head rose in the sea. It was a Hazuka ninja who was arranged by Hazuka Zayayu to stay on the fleet. After realizing that something was wrong, he immediately jumped into the sea and hid. Third generation. He roared in anger, and then did not dare to stay for long, diving into the sea and leaving quickly. He had to return to the village as soon as possible to inform the clan leader and other ninja clans about this matter. Those clansmen could not be sacrificed in vain, and the third generation must pay the price. The third Raikage led the ninjas who were still in good condition to fight against the ninjas led by Shimura Danzo. But it seemed that the previous fierce battle consumed too much energy. The third Raikage was suppressed by Shimura Danzo and even had scars on his body. He was cut by Shimura Danzo's ninja sword with the power of wind escape. Seeing that the third Raikage had consumed a lot of energy and his combat power was greatly damaged, Shimura Danzo was even more excited, and his ninja sword and wind escape offensive became more and more sharp. He even revealed his right eye that had been covered and sealed with bandages. It was a 3 Magatama Sharingan. That's right, he had transplanted a 3 Magatama Sharingan a long time ago. Although it consumed a lot, he could barely support it with his chakra. And the Sharingan helped him a lot. It not only improved his illusion ability and resistance, but also enhanced his dynamic vision, which greatly improved his wind escape sword technique. Like the thunder escape ninjutsu, the wind escape type of physical sword technique is also based on speed, but one stimulates the muscles and bones from the inside to increase explosive power, and the other is from the outside. High-speed physical swordsmanship often requires strong dynamic vision support, otherwise it would be fatal if used rashly. Now with the cooperation of a 3 Magatama Sharingan, he can burst out the wind-style swordsmanship with all his strength, which gives him the capital to suppress the third-generation Raikage. As for the secret of revealing the 3 Magatama Sharingan, as long as the third-generation Raikage is killed and these cloud ninjas are destroyed, no one will know it. The third-generation Raikage, who was cut again, cursed angrily, and seemed to be very annoyed at being injured by a fool like Shimura Danzo. Raikage, tonight is your last night. Shimura Danzo looked grim, and his heart was very excited. If he could kill the third-generation Raikage, his reputation in the village would definitely be raised to an extreme, and he might have the opportunity to compete for the fourth-generation Hokage. Sensei Hashirama passed the position of Hokage to his younger brother Sensei Tobarama, and he and Hiruzen were like brothers, and they could also inherit the position of Hokage. The ninjas under his command also fought with the cloud ninjas brought by the third Raikage. They were mainly elite ninjas from the Shimura family and the Sarutobi family. In name, they went to the Kawago with the large army to set up defenses against the Sand Village, but in fact they came here secretly to carry out a secret mission. Now the mission target has been changed to the cloud ninjas, especially the third Raikage. The elites of the two clans cooperated closely. The Sarutobi ninjas performed the family's secret Great Flame technique, and the Shimura ninjas cooperated with the high temperature and scale of the wind-style Great Flame technique to suppress the cloud ninjas. Sarutobi Shinosuke performed the Great Flame technique and cooperated with his childhood sweetheart Shimura Izumi, and his combat power was quite strong. However, what they didn't know was that they had been targeted for a long time. A pair of twin brothers who looked similar in the Cloud Village looked at them from time to time. They wore eye masks on their left and right eyes, and they had special eye masks with sealing techniques. The Cloud Ninjas had been ordered not to fight to the death with the Konoha Ninjas. In the early stage of the battle, they focused on saving their lives and buying time for the ninjas behind to recover their chakra. The Sand and Rock Ninjas saw that Konoha was facing off against the Cloud Ninjas, and they decisively rushed into the Uzushio village. Although it was very dangerous to rush in directly, they didn't have that much time to waste. Once the Cloud Ninjas recovered their chakra and consumed the support, it would be difficult to fight. We must fight quickly. Since you are here, don't even think about leaving. Uzumaki Masahiko stared at the ninjas who had rushed into the village. The four elders of the clan joined forces again to perform the four red yang formation to close the door and beat the dog. No one will survive today. They couldn't maintain the four red yang formation for long, and couldn't use it for defensive operations. They could only carry out annihilation operations like this. Such a huge barrier, worthy of the Uzumaki clan. Looking at the huge four-red yang formation, Chio couldn't help but sigh. This amount of chakra was really unreasonable. Ebizo on the side said nothing, and had already ordered the puppeteers to spray poison mist and use wind escape to quickly blow it to the entire Uzushiogakure village. Poison is the most efficient means of killing the enemy. And this poison was specially prepared by them just now. Even if it encounters the burning of fire escape, it will not be burned, but will turn into poisonous smoke, which is also very lethal. The rock-hidden ninja army relies on large-scale earth escape ninjutsu to destroy the ground, thereby destroying the various ceiling barriers set up and cast by the Uzumaki ninjas, and resisting the various attacks of the banana fan. They have obtained intelligence on the battlefield of the Mist Ninja, knowing that the other party has the means to cast super large-scale ninjutsu, and formulated targeted tactics before killing in. Seeing that the banana fan's offensive was targeted, Uzumaki Aloe and others felt depressed, and it would be difficult to fight now. At the same time, Ja-san had already arrived outside the Uzushiogakure village, raised his hand to form a seal and cast a forbidden technique. Forbidden technique. Pot poison technique. As the forbidden technique was activated, a pottery jar in the latrine of the head of the Uzushiogakure village exploded, and countless poisonous insects that were difficult to see with the naked eye flew out, rapidly spreading to the entire Uzushiogakure village. They attached themselves to people when they saw them, and invaded their bodies to reproduce rapidly. That's right, he is a member of the Aburame clan, and the poisonous insects he possessed are extremely special, a very tiny nano-poisonous insect, which is extremely hidden when activated, and even the perception of the Uzumaki clan can hardly perceive such a tiny existence. In addition, the Uzumaki clan now needs to focus on the sand and rock ninjas, and has no time to take care of its own status. Of course, his poisonous insects are not only aimed at the Uzumaki ninjas, but everyone, including the sand and rock ninjas. Those are all enemies. The two sides in the fight had no idea that a deadly poisonous insect had spread, invading the body through the skin and breathing, and multiplying rapidly and silently. This was not over yet. Ja-san took out 100,000 high-quality detonating tags, on which the summoning technique was engraved with his own blood. It was a special technique developed by the second generation, called the Mutual Multiplication Detonating Talisman. Those nano-poisonous insects were fed with their own flesh and chakra, which was equivalent to a part of themselves, and could be used to perform this forbidden technique. 100,000 high-quality detonating tags were enough to raise the entire Uzushio village to the ground. However, what he didn't know was that he had been targeted when he showed up and performed the technique remotely. That's the kid. Hundreds of meters away, a Kumo ninja Anbu put down the telescope and laughed grimly, followed by 3 Anbu ninjas. They did not join the main battlefield, but hid outside the Uzushio village, waiting for Konoha's backhand against the Uzushio village. The focus of their attention was on the 3 sons of the Hokage who entered the Uzushio village in the morning. After squatting here for so long, I finally found someone. No matter what means the other party uses to kill the Hidden Tide village, it is also a huge threat to their Hidden Cloud village. This dangerous person must be killed as soon as possible and must not be left alive, otherwise it will be bad if he is used on their Cloud Ninja in the future. He is likely to be a ninja from the Konoha Aburame clan, good at controlling insects. He can be arranged to plot against the Hidden Tide village, so his strength must be terrible. Don't fight him in close combat, and don't give the other party a chance to react. Kill the target as quickly as possible. He gave a solemn warning, he didn't want the insects to get into his body. Understood. The 3 Anbu ninjas responded in a low voice. They also cherished their lives very much. Being able to kill the target while protecting themselves is the best method and result. Not to mention the battle at Uzushiogakure village. On the other side, in the original Kurigakure ninja station, the Kumogakure ninjas were swallowing pills to recover and clean up the battlefield. Tamura Hao and Yayui Eifukai stayed together, studying the same shark muscle. The 3 of them were very curious about this biological type of ninja sword. And Samahata is constantly struggling and resisting, trying to return to his original owner. And bring someone who recognizes the Lord. Yayui was amazed that Kurigakure village could produce such a strange ninja sword. It was really unbelievable. Fukai was also very surprised. It was the first time he saw such a creature that could swallow chakra. It could even swallow chakra ninjutsu that changed its nature. Tamura Hao was also watching, but his expression suddenly changed. He raised his foot and kicked Yaoi and Fukai away. At the same time, he threw out a roll of detonating talismans. Each roll had 10. This throw made 10 rolls. 100 high-quality detonating charms. At the same time, a dense barrage of water bombs was shot towards the original position of the 3 people, and was mainly concentrated on Yi Yui's position. It was obviously aimed at attacking Yi Yui. Boom boom boom. Scrolls of detonating talismans exploded quickly, producing a large area of fire. Sensing the movement here, the nearby Kumo ninjas immediately gathered over, understanding that an enemy might appear. When the firelight dissipated, an embarrassed figure was revealed. It was the leader of the Kurigakure ninja army, Onodin Zayayu. Hateful. Seeing Yi Yuri being kicked out and escaping the killing move, Guidang Zayayu gritted her teeth and looked at the little masked man, wishing to eat him alive. Their losses this time were too great. He originally wanted to take revenge by killing the son of the third Raikage, but he failed at the last moment and was greeted by the opponent with so many detonating talismans and was blown out of the ground. Staring at the little dwarf hatefully, Guidang Zayayu's body turned into water and prepared to dive into the ground to escape. Unfortunately, the previous explosion had deprived him of the best time to escape. A ninja sword surrounded by lightning flew out and pinned him to the ground, and the thunder chakra interrupted the secret technique of water transformation. This was followed by another bombardment of 10 volumes of high-quality detonating symbols, without giving him a chance to react. Just like that, Ghost Lantern Xiaoyu, who had been severely injured due to the previous war and was almost exhausted of chakra, died. His death was quite miserable, not even a whole body was left behind. Ninjas are so brittle, and they are even more brittle without chakra. Even a strong man like Uchiha Madara can be stabbed to death by a ninja sword. It seems that the commander of the Kurigakure ninja army is still alive. Picking up the ninja sword that was blown out, Fukai recognized the other party's identity. He knew something was wrong when he was kicked away by a student. He immediately burst out with chakra. After he saw the enemy clearly, he used the thunder chakra to throw it out on the ninja sword. Fortunately, the ninja sword is blended with chakra conductive metal, so that it can still maintain the thunder escape chakra after it is removed from the hand, interfering with the opponent's hydration technique, otherwise it would be difficult to keep it. Brother, you saved my life. After reacting, Yi Yuri stepped forward and was very grateful and shocked. The sneak attack just now was so sudden that he couldn't react at all. Without the blessing of thunder armor, anyone who couldn't block the water bomb would definitely be penetrated and killed. This is a life-saving grace. Nodding to Yaoi and Fukai, Tamura Hao walked to the bombed crater and dug around for a while, and soon found a hole as thick as a wrist. This uncle's place must be a mouse hole. Looking at the hole leading to the depths of the earth, Tamura Hao didn't understand the water transformation technique of the Ghost Lantern clan. I just found this person lurking through my sense of good and evil, and the strong malice was too conspicuous. That's when he knew he was an enemy and was going to make a sneak attack. Therefore, he immediately kicked Yaoi and Fukai out, and at the same time, he used the reaction force to fly backwards out of the opponent's attack range, and threw out the detonating charm to bombard the opponent to prevent further ninjutsu attacks. It is indeed Kaiden Xiaoyu, the strongest member of the Kaiden family. It is said that he can rival Mizukage. Dodai comforted the gathered ninjas, then walked over to pick up the broken head and confirmed his identity. He had noticed before that the leader of the Kurigakure ninja army was missing. He originally thought that the other party had escaped with the help of secret techniques, but who would have thought that he would actually be lurking here to attack? How crazy, but it is indeed very dangerous. Judging from the situation just now, it seems that the other party may succeed. Once the son of the Raikage is killed, the blow to their cloud-hidden village will be quite fatal. Kill a strong man comparable to Shadow, and you will become famous. Tudai looked at Tamura Hao, feeling increasingly pleased with him. This not only killed a powerful enemy, but also saved the son of the Raikage, especially the latter, avoiding a great danger for their cloud-hidden village. I don't want to be famous just yet. Tamura Hao complained that what he needs most at this stage is obscene development. Because of this, he will wear a mask during this expedition. Although the armor and double swords on his body are still a bit conspicuous, at least they can hide his age, making people think he is a dwarf instead of a child, which makes him much more ordinary. It won't be a problem when the strength improves in the future. How did you sense it? Tutai smiled and immediately asked about the young man's perception method. Many of them didn't notice Gui Deng Xiaoyu's infiltration and sneak attack, but this kid did. There must be a ghost. This is the ability I gained after deeply refining and fusing the Kinkaku and Ginkaku chakra. I can sense other people's thoughts within a 10-meter range, and my perception of good and evil is the strongest. Tamura Hao did not hide it and took the opportunity to reveal this ability. He also needs the Hidden Cloud Village to help him get more Nine Tails chakra to enhance this ability. According to the time, the first generation Hokage's wife should not last for a few years. When the Nine Tails is transferred, chakra will definitely escape. That will be their chance. Even if the time and place of its transfer can be detected, it is not impossible to pack up the entire Nine Tails in a wave of Nine Tails chaos. This is definitely impossible to do by myself, and I have to ask the Hidden Cloud Village to do it. And I have to find a way to improve the strength of the third Raikage. The combat power of the third Raikage is equivalent to that of the 8 tails, and it is definitely far inferior to the 9 tails. You have to know that in the Fourth War, half of the 9 tails could suppress other tailed beasts, and they are not at the same level at all. Does their chakra have this ability? Yui was surprised. He had read the information of Kinkaku and Ginkaku, and it seemed that they did not have this ability. It should be the ability of the 9 tails. Kinkaku and Ginkaku once devoured the flesh and blood of the 9 tails and gained the power of the 9 tails. There must be some residue in the corpse. However, there is no such ability in their intelligence data. It should be specially stimulated by the fusion of Ahau and the 9 tails chakra. Fukai had some guesses. As one of the candidates for the tailed beast Jinchuriki, he was also very clear about this. The power of the 9 tails. Dodai's eyes flickered, and he had some ideas. How can you have the ability of my grandma? Just then, a red-haired girl poked her head out from behind a stone and stared at a despicable villain. Why didn't you tie her up? Looking at the red-haired girl, Tianqun Hao was dissatisfied. Such an important hostage should be tied up like a dumpling and hung up for strict guard, but now he can walk around at will and hide in the dark to eavesdrop on secrets. Despicable villain, I'll tie you up first. Seeing that a villain was going to tie her up, Uzumaki Kushina angrily activated the diamond chain and shot it over, preparing to tie him up and hang him up first. However, Tamura Hao raised his hand to grab the diamond chain that was shot over, ignored the sealing power on it and pulled it hard, pulling the girl's body over, and took out the Thunder God sword to give her a wave of electric therapy. This was an ability he discovered in the battle before. Before, a Genjutsu ninja cast a Genjutsu on him, but it was useless. The essence of Genjutsu is to use chakra to interfere with the opponent's 5 senses and make them fall into illusions. The way to remove it is to disrupt the flow of one's own chakra, so the foundation is still on chakra. At that time, he understood a lot of problems. Chakra is like a computer system. People with higher authority can have more abilities and power, and the bloodline and bloodline authority of Otsutsuki is undoubtedly the highest level. Therefore, the illusion of Sharingan can affect many people. Even a strong man like the 4th Raikage was knocked down by Uchiha Madara with a glance, and the 4th Mizukage was controlled by Uchiha Obito for a long time. But his chakra is different. With the help of the golden finger, all the chakra marks are erased and turned into the purest chakra, which will naturally not be affected by the chakra system of the ninja world. It's like using the imperial sword of the previous dynasty can't kill the officials of the current dynasty. The diamond chain of the Uzumaki clan is similar. In essence, it still uses the blood power from the 10 tails and Otsutsuki to suppress the chakra of others. Tamura Hao's chakra is not in the same system, so it will not be suppressed, so he dared to take the diamond chain of Uzumaki Kushina with his bare hands. Of course, the main reason for being so brave is that Uzumaki Kushina has only activated one diamond blockade now, and she is not skilled in controlling it, the speed is too slow, and it is not flexible enough. If it reaches the level of tying up the 9 tails in the future 9 tails rebellion, he will definitely dodge and run away at the first time. He can only be immune to the interference and sealing ability of the diamond seal on chakra, but he can't break the chain. Once he is entangled and tied like a dumpling, he will be miserable. The red hair of Uzumaki Kushina, who was electrocuted, exploded, and her delicate body was constantly twitching, and her saliva was flowing out. Enough, enough, you are still arguing with a little girl. Totoi couldn't stand it anymore, and hugged the girl and put her down. Despicable villain, why are you not afraid of my diamond seal? After a long time to recover, Uzumaki Kushina stared at someone angrily, and was even more confused. It was the first time I saw someone who was not afraid of the diamond seal, and this person also had the ability of my aunt, the same as what Grandpa said. The diamond seal is very strong, but unfortunately you are too weak. As long as the chakra control is strong enough, it can be mobilized to a certain extent. Tamura Hao made up a statement, saying that my chakra control is high enough, so it can mobilize part of the chakra to treat you with electricity. Little girl, he is a bad guy, we are not. In the future, the Uzumaki clan will move to our cloud village, and we will be a family then. Now tell us about your aunt's ability. Dodai did not hesitate to label someone as a bad guy, wanting to know more about that ability from the little girl. As for the aunt mentioned by the girl, he knew that it was the wife of the first-generation Hokage, the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. That kid got this ability from the Nine Tails chakra obtained from the bodies of Kinkaku and Ginkaku. As the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, the wife of the first-generation Hokage also has that ability, which should be taken more seriously. You are all bad guys, I won't talk to you. Uzumaki Kushina didn't buy it at all. She glared at someone and walked away angrily. Although her freedom was restricted, she could still move within a certain range. The little girl is angry. Dodai smiled, then gestured to the three people and walked towards a tent not far away. After the three people came in, Dodai looked at Tamura Hao seriously. I'll give you a task. Use the transformation technique to become I and contact our people. Remember those who have bad intentions and come back to tell me. This ability to perceive good and evil is very useful and can distinguish between enemies and friends. Spy. Yui understood and looked solemn. He knew that Tutai was referring to spies. The core of ninja war is intelligence war, and the core of intelligence war is spies. There must be all kinds of spies in the village. Some are planted by opponents, some are bribed, or they are controlled by being caught. It is difficult to distinguish. Not just spies, Tuotai said with a hint of meaning. He knew that there were some problems in the village, even hidden dangers. Although their cloud village is much better than the other four major ninja villages, especially after the third generation of Reikage killed the people of Kinkaku and Ginkaku, the village has become much cleaner, but there are still some hidden dangers. If they can find them out, control them or eliminate them, it will be very beneficial to the development of the village, so as to avoid being pitted by their own people one day in the future. Then there are the spies. There is no need to find them out and kill them. A spy who has been discovered is not a threat in itself, and can even be used in reverse. I understand. Tamura Hao understood, and then carefully observed Yui, seeing all the scars and dust on his body clearly, and then used them as a basis to perform transformation into the other party's appearance. Although his chakra volume is very impressive, his practice of the three-body technique is not bad, and because of the improvement of chakra control, he can perform it more perfectly. Yui also made hand seals to perform the transformation technique to become an Anbu ninja, and will accompany him later. When they walk together, even ninjas with perception ability can hardly distinguish them, so they can hide better. Doesn't the Uzushio village need our support? Fukai asked. The battle over there should not be easy. That is the war of the Uzushio village, and at this stage their fighting purpose is partially opposed to our existence, so it is not easy for us to intervene. Shaking his head, Tutai did not intend to intervene in the war over there, and the Uzumaki clan did not want them to go there now. And they have a more important task for the Uzumaki clan, which is to protect the part of the Uzumaki clan that was transferred. It can be said that they are the confidence of the Uzumaki clan to start a war with confidence. Even if they lose over there, the Uzumaki clan can be passed on and will not be exterminated. Where's my dad? Yui was a little worried. Konoha was not easy to deal with. The third generation must be fighting hard at the moment. After all, he is not good at acting. Totoi smiled. Although the previous battle with the Kurigakure ninja army consumed a lot of chakra for the third generation, it was not a big problem for the third generation's foundation. He could still suppress the kind of people like Shimura Danzo, but he couldn't be too strong at this time. He had to rely on the help of the Uzumaki clan to kill those people. Otherwise, the next ninja war might be the 4 major ninja villages joining forces to besiege their Cloud Village. In this battle, their Cloud Village gained enough. If they continued to be strong, it would only make other ninja villages jealous and fearful. Yui suddenly realized and breathed a sigh of relief. Tamura Hao was praying that this time, Danzo would become a commander without troops. Only by killing Danzo's current capable subordinates, would he, Tamura Hitoshi, have a chance to come to the fore, and it would also allow Danzo to pay more attention to intelligence work and intelligence personnel. After praying secretly, Tamura Hao transformed into Yui and went to comfort the ninjas after the war as the son of the Raikage. Most of them were kind-hearted, and only a few were malicious. Tamura Hao wrote down those people and made a rough classification based on the intensity of their maliciousness, and then informed Tutai. He didn't need to intervene in the next matter, Tutai would arrange it. The battle in Uzushio Hidden Village quickly entered a fever pitch. 2,000 elites from Sand Hidden Village and Iwagakure Village were constantly fighting against the Uzumaki ninjas, making it very difficult for the Uzumaki ninjas to fight. Although their sealing techniques are very strong, especially some forbidden techniques, most of them require close proximity to be used. But the Sand Ninja and the Rock Ninja were obviously prepared for this. They didn't give them a chance to get close at all. They only released ninjutsu from a distance, and the two sides even had a tacit cooperation. The Sand Ninja's puppet master troops directly control the puppets to attack from a distance. Even if they use forbidden techniques to destroy the puppets, they can hardly cause harm to the people themselves. The Iwa ninjas even jointly performed large-scale earth escape ninjutsu, which was difficult to attack. Moreover, the ninja with melting release is more destructive and is too difficult to defeat. The main reason is that their previous attack on the Kurigakure ninja army consumed a lot of chakra, which had a great impact on their combat effectiveness. We can't delay it any longer. Uzumaki Alo looked determined. The current battle situation is very unfavorable for them. The Sunagakure ninja army and Iwagakure ninja army have obviously obtained the intelligence of the previous battle on the side of the Kurigakure ninja army, and are on guard against the large-scale 5 escape forces they used to fan out with banana fans. Even if they continue to consume like this, they can still defeat the opponent with their own chakra advantage, but maintaining the 4 red sun formation will also consume a lot of money. At this moment, life support is being overdrawn, and it won't last long. Once the blockade of the 4 red sun formation is gone, these Sand Ninjas and Rock Ninjas can retreat calmly, take a rest and then come back again, and they will be more prepared by then. But this is not what worries him the most. What worries him most is the methods of Konoha. Now only Danzo Shimura has appeared, and the 3rd Hokage has not yet appeared. Even the people of Konoha haven't taken direct action against their Uzumaki Hidden Village, and once they do, it will definitely be a thunderous blow. Therefore, the current war against Sand Ninja and Rock Ninja must be decided quickly and cannot be delayed. I can only use that forbidden technique. Second uncle. Seeing the hand seals made by the second uncle, Uzumaki Masahiko, who was using a diamond chain not far away to fight against the Tenchio Nakimatsu people, was shocked. He naturally knew what that seal meant. It was a forbidden technique. Once it was used, one's soul would be taken away by the god of death and would never be reincarnated. It was the most terrifying and taboo forbidden technique of their Uzumaki clan. Come back quickly. The West Dead man who was commanding the battle from the rear saw the anomalies of the Uzumaki elder and Uzumaki Masahiko and noticed something was wrong, and immediately called Z back, who used Molten Magma and King Kong to block a long-range duel. The sealing technique of the Uzumaki clan is too weird and has too many taboos, so you must be careful. Z didn't try to be brave, and withdrew from the attack range of the Vajra chain. He jumped back to their side of the earth wall and stared closely at the old guys of the Uzumaki clan. At the same time, there was doubt in my heart. The 4 tails seemed to be very calm at the moment, and did not take the opportunity to go violent. They even took the initiative to use their own chakra to fight against the King Kong blockade. Are you afraid of the Uzumaki clan's sealing technique? And the elders of the Uzumaki clan also raised their hands to form seals with determined expressions. This is the most powerful forbidden technique of their Uzumaki clan, which specifically targets the soul. Even if a strong person like the 1st Hokage is hit, he will still die as long as his soul can be pulled out. And this forbidden technique is based on the user's chakra. The stronger the chakra, the greater the power. With the amount of chakra they have, even if the shadows of the 5 major ninja villages come, they will still have to kneel. The invading evil spirits, follow me and become sacrifices to the god of death. The turbid but cold eyes swept over Chiandai and the others, and the Alo Uzumaki seal came to the end. Several other old men were also about to complete the seals. This was one of the reasons why they used the 4 red sun formation to seal off the entire Uzumaki hidden village to prevent those people from escaping. Chio and others felt uneasy when they saw the actions of Uzumaki Alo and others. Is that a terrible forbidden technique? Just when Uzumaki Alo and the others were depleting their life force and refining chakra to summon the god of death, black blood suddenly spewed out in unison, and they fell to the ground one by one. Immediately afterwards, many people on both sides who were fighting suddenly fell to the ground and even lost their lives. Poison. Masahiko Uzumaki, whose legs were weak and kneeling on the ground, spat out a mouthful of black blood, which was very unbelievable. They had long been prepared for the poison in Sand Hidden Village. They not only prepared a large amount of antidotes, but also wore masks. Why were they still poisoned? It's not the poison of Sunagakur village. Struggling to stand up, Alo Uzumaki looked at the Chio siblings who were retreating in a very bad state, as well as the ninja army commander of Iwagakure village, and understood that it was not the poison of Sunagakur village, nor the Iwanan, otherwise it would be impossible. Even his own people were poisoned and put down. Kumogakure. Uzumaki Masahiko immediately thought of Kumogakure. Kumogakure hoped that their Uzumaki-gakure village would be destroyed so that they could accept those Uzumaki clan members, especially that hateful brat. So despicable. Crack. Alo Uzumaki slapped him and cursed. It's now, and you still can't understand. This is Konoha's attack on us. Konoha wants us more than Cloud Hidden Village. Uzumaki Hidden Village was destroyed. It should be a method left secretly by the 3 people after entering the village in the morning, otherwise it would be impossible to use it silently through the 4 red sun formation. Quote. Although there is no evidence, some things can be figured out by thinking about it. In addition, he was originally on guard against Konoha's backup plan. He thought it was a powerful ninja army hidden in the dark, but who would have thought it was this strange poison? He didn't even notice when he was poisoned. Konoha. Chio on the opposite side seemed to have discovered something, and roared angrily, with a more ferocious face. Now the 3 parties participating in the battle have all been poisoned and fell to the ground, and are dying quickly. Obviously, the poison is not from the 3 of them. Only Konoha, Kumogakure and Kurigakure are left. Kurigakure has withdrawn, and it is not good at using poison. Kumogakure is also not good at using poison, leaving only Konoha. And she felt that this seemed not to be a simple poison, but a living thing, like some kind of small insect, which made her think of Konoha's Aburame clan. Chief Uzumaki, we have all been calculated by Konoha. The other party's poisonous insects are in our bodies. It should be the secret technique of Konoha's Aburame clan. How about a truce now? Ebizo took some poison to suppress the poisonous insects in his body, and shouted while holding back the discomfort. There was no point in fighting any further now, because their common enemy had turned into Konoha. And the Uzumaki ninjas were more difficult than they had expected, and they could not end the battle in a short time, so they had to stop fighting. I am calling for a truce on behalf of the Hidden Rock village. The leader of the Hidden Rock ninja army, Shishi-ren, who was also in a bad state, spit out black blood and shouted, indicating a truce. Most of the people on their side also lay down, and only a few of them who were stronger were still holding on. If they continued to fight, they would be annihilated. This time, Konoha won with superior skills, and they remembered this account in the Hidden Rock village. But before Uzumaki Masahiko could respond, the same chakra suddenly emerged from those corpses, and then detonating tags appeared out of thin air. Boom boom boom. In an instant, the entire Hidden Rock village was shrouded in flames and roars, and all the corpses and buildings were blown to pieces and burned. Especially under the wrapping of the 4 red yang formation, the impact of the explosion was more concentrated, and even the flame power of the 4 red yang formation was triggered, and the destructive power was increased. The 4 elders of the Whirlpool clan, who had already reached their limit, finally couldn't hold on any longer, and the 4 red yang formation was broken. Chapter 51. A golden ball flew out as soon as the 4 red sun formation shattered, and after flying for a certain distance, it disintegrated and revealed several figures. It was Luo Sha who used placer gold to bring out the Chiyo siblings and Yi Kang, and only the 4 of them were left. Garuru. Rasa looked back at the Uzushio hidden village in flames, feeling sad in her heart. Garura has been on the front line, bringing the wounded down for treatment as soon as possible. The distance just now was too far and he couldn't bring them out, so he had to save himself and rush out first. Now I'm afraid the situation is in danger. Ebizo said weakly. Let's go and return to the village as soon as possible. Yi Kang continues to maintain the scorching fireball. If you haven't been poisoned, you should be the kind of poisonous insect that is afraid of fire. Although the poisonous insects in the body were temporarily suppressed with the help of poison, those poisons were not very mild. Even if the mutual restraint of the medicinal properties was used to minimize the damage to the body, it was still not easy. He and his sister have now lost their fighting power, and must return to the village as soon as possible to prepare medicine to save themselves, otherwise they will die. The Iowa ninja on the other side also felt uncomfortable. The Western Death Man had just managed to withstand the explosion of the detonating talisman with the help of Earth Release. Z, don't get close to me, and don't release the chakra of melting release and 4 tails. The high temperature of your melting release should be able to drive away this poisonous insect, so you are not poisoned. As the commander-in-chief of the ninja army, I now order you to return to the village as soon as possible, inform Lord Tsuchikage of everything that happened here, and say that I, the Western Death, am unworthy of his trust. Quote. Shouting to stop Z, who was about to rush over, Zisiran knew that he might not be able to survive. Those poisonous insects were very weird, and he could only barely suppress them with his chakra, so he couldn't survive. It is still unknown what other backups Konoha has, and it will be even harder for Z to escape back with herself as a burden. And now that the ninja army has been wiped out, he has no shame in going back. Western Dead Man. Z clenched her fists tightly, wondering why it suddenly turned like this. Quickly, Konoha may have more than one killing move. Leave as soon as possible while they are being restrained by the Kumo ninja. This is an order. Spitting out a mouthful of black blood again, the Western Dead Man didn't want Murasaki to be here, not only because of Murasaki's potential and strength, but more importantly because he was the 4-tailed Jinchuriki. Even if the sealing technique is not perfect and often goes berserk, he is still an important force in the village. I will definitely tell Onoki everything, and I will definitely avenge everyone. Holding back the grief and anger in her heart, Z jumped out of the ruined Uzushio hidden village. He must go back and tell Onoki everything that happened here, and more importantly, he must avenge these compatriots and make that despicable Konoha pay the price. It's my first time leading an army to fight, but this is the result. I'm so unwilling. Seeing Z's figure retreating quickly, Zisiran felt very unwilling. I thought I could become famous through this battle, but who would have thought that this would be the result? My child, the future depends on you. Thinking of his son Dongsiran, Zisiran still has hope in his heart. His son also has leadership skills, even more potential than himself, and will definitely surpass himself in the future. Thinking of his son, the Western Dead Man staggered towards the outside of Uzushiogakure village, while trying to suppress the poisonous insects in his body while mobilizing chakra to perform ninjutsu. Although there is little hope that he can go back, he will not sit still and wait for death. Go at full speed, target Uzumaki hidden village. Seeing the strong fire on the Uzushio hidden village side, Dodai decisively ordered to head there. Tamura Hao also followed with Samahata on his back, and communicated with Samahata, indicating that a big meal was about to be eaten next. Although Samahata has not yet been convinced to accept his mastership, it has been stopped from resisting and struggling. The next step is to swallow the chakra from the corpse of the Uzumaki ninja. On the other side of the battlefield, they noticed the fire on the Uzushio hidden village side. Danzo Shimura was secretly happy, knowing that the plan was successful. First there was the assassination of poisonous nano-insects, and then there was the explosion of 100,000 detonating talismans. There would definitely be nothing left in Uzushiogakure, and the Iwa ninja and Sunagakure must have been wiped out. However, this joy froze before it lasted long. I saw a bloody barrier rising quickly around me. Looking closely, I found that 5 ninjas with red hair were erupting chakra to shape the barrier. Shimura Danzo, die for me. At the same time, the third Raikage took out a pill and swallowed it in his mouth. Then black thunder and lightning burst out from his body and converged on his palms to charge towards him with hell rush. Danzo could only slash with his sword, and the blade had a sharp wind blade made of vacuum jade. He had used it to slash through the thunderbolt armor of the third Raikage many times before. However, this time the third generation Raikage's combat power, which erupted with black thunder, increased to a higher level. In an instant, he ignored the attribute restraint and broke the vacuum jade and ninja sword, and even cut off Shimura Danzo's right arm holding the sword. Withdraw. His right arm was hurting. Shimura Danzo was shocked and angry, but he did not dare to delay. He roared and rushed to the direction where the barrier was not closed yet. The ninjas under his command immediately retreated after receiving the order, but they wanted to retreat, but the third Raikage did not agree. The flash of black electric light blocked the piece that had not yet closed, stopping the Konoha ninja by himself. At the same time, the Kumo ninja Junin who had been paddling also exploded with all their strength, performing various ninjutsu and ninjutsu together. We attacked with all our strength to break through. The third Raikage took some medicine to break out. He won't be able to hold on for long. Sarutobi Shinosuke shouted to prevent internal chaos among his own ninjas. Hearing Sarutobi Shinosuke's shouts, the ninjas of the two clans quickly regained their strength. While resisting the offensive of the Kumo ninja from behind, they attacked the third Raikage. It's just that the third Raikage is not the end of his powerful bow, and the pill he swallowed before was just a soldier's food pill. It was not to replenish physical strength, but to confuse Danzo Shimura and the Konoha ninja. Soon the barrier was closed, and these people completely lost the possibility of escaping. Although this 5 elements barrier is far less powerful than the 4 red sun formation, it is not that easy to break through, not to mention that there are 3 generations of Raikage and hundreds of Kumogakur Jonin inside that are entangled with Konoha ninjas. The third Raikage had no scruples at all, and unleashed all his strength to wreak havoc within the Konoha ninjas, disrupting the formations of the 2 clans of ninjas. The Cloud ninjas attacked from the outside, working closely together. The massacre suffered by the Kurigakure ninjas happened again, and they had no chance to escape. Even using earth escape will not work, because the ground is also covered by a barrier, and there is no way to dig a hole and sneak into the ground. Kumo ninja. Sarutobi Shinosuke roared angrily, feeling even more sad, angry and desperate in his heart. He knew it was over, everything was over. Shinosuke. Izumi Shimura, who had several wounds on his body, jumped over with a combined naginata, a look of determination on his face. Even if they were to die, they would die together. Sister Kwan, we can't die here. The arrival of his girlfriend made Sarutobi Shinosuke calm down a little, and he immediately said decisively. He took out a secret medicine and swallowed it, and a huge amount of chakra soon burst out from his body. He bit his fingers and quickly formed a seal, and finally slapped his palm on the ground. Psychic technique Ape King Ape Demon. Originally, with his current chakra, he was unable to channel the monkey demon, but with the help of the burst of secret medicine, he could barely reach the target. Shinosuke. The monkey demon who was channeled was surprised. He didn't expect that the person who channeled him was the son of Hiruzen Sarutobi, and he immediately realized that something was wrong with the surrounding situation. Uncle Ape Demon, quickly transform into a Vajra Rui stick to break this barrier. Sarutobi Shinosuke resisted the pain of the secret medicine bursting out, and said quickly that this barrier must be broken as soon as possible and lead the tribesmen to rush out. Transformation technique Vajra Rui staff. Swallow Demon saw the urgency of the situation and transformed into Vajra Rui staff without much nonsense. In the arms of Sarutobi Shinosuke, he instantly grew longer and pushed a big hole in the barrier. At the same time, he extended his hand from the Vajra Rui staff to grab Sarutobi Shinosuke, preparing to take him out first. Sarutobi Shinosuke immediately grabbed his girlfriend Shimura Izumi's hand and rushed out with her. Stay. Just then, a flash of lightning flashed, and the third Raikage rushed over and kicked Sarutobi Shinosuke away. However, before being kicked out, Sarutobi Shinosuke threw Shimura Izumi out of the slope of the barrier and was caught by Shimura Danzo outside. Shimura Danzo had already run far away, and even gave up on these people, but when he saw the Vajra Rui rod coming out, he knew there was still hope, so he turned back. Shinosuke. Shimura Izumi was very anxious and was about to return to rescue, but was knocked unconscious by Shimura Danzo. Reikage. Uzumaki. Shimura Danzo stared at the barrier breach that was quickly repaired and closed, and retreated quickly with his daughter. They lost this battle, not at the hands of the Reikage and the Cloud Ninja, but at the hands of the Uzumaki clan. They didn't expect that the Uzumaki ninja would appear in the end. If it weren't for the appearance of the barrier and the Uzumaki ninja that distracted him, even if the third Reikage took the secret medicine to explode, he wouldn't have cut off one arm, at least he could have avoided it. Uzumaki clan. At the same time, when Sarutobi Shinosuke was kicked out, the Sarutobi Shinosuke was immediately released from the Vajra Rui Rod state, and then flew over to grab Sarutobi Shinosuke and bring him back with the summoning technique. This way, at least Shinosuke can be saved, so that Hiruzen will not have to bear the pain of losing his son. However, what greeted him were 2-3 Magatama Sharingan, transplanted into the eye sockets of two people, and the pupil power was connected, obviously a pair. It was the twin brothers who had targeted Sarutobi Shinosuke before. The two of them simultaneously formed seals and used the 3 Magatama Sharingan in their eye sockets as a medium to perform illusions. When Sarutobi Shinosuke saw the 3 Magatama Sharingan, Tsurumo realized that something was wrong, but it was too late when he wanted to cancel the summoning technique. His body fell to the ground, and the images of 3 Magatama appeared in his eyes. These eyes are too difficult to use. The faces of the two brothers who performed the illusion were as pale as paper in an instant, which showed how much it consumed. Even if they were both senior ninjas who specialized in illusions, they could not withstand the consumption of the Sharingan. These were transplanted separately, otherwise the consumption would be even greater. Can you still hold on? A hand knife knocked Sarutobi Shinosuke unconscious, and the third-generation Reikage came over and asked with concern. These two are their precious treasures, and nothing can happen to them. We can hold on, Reikage-sama. The two took a bottle of medicine at the same time, nodded to show that they could hold on, and then took out a large bottle of medicine and poured it into the stomach of the demon, assisting the illusion to maintain control over it. Then start the second stage of the plan. The third-generation Reikage glanced at the shadow clone of Uzumaki Aloe who was coming, nodded to the two, and signaled to start the next stage of the plan. The two did not hesitate, and began to deeply control the demon with the power of the Sharingan, while exploring the other's memory. Hurry up and treat the wound of the third generation. The shadow clone of Tsuchita came over with a medical ninja, and signaled to go forward to treat the wound. Although those wounds only scratched the skin and did not hurt the muscles, a lot of blood had already flowed out. And the lightning armor itself is a ninjutsu that stimulates the body, and the bleeding speed will be faster. Acting is really tiring. The third-generation Reikage, who squatted down to receive treatment, couldn't help but complain. That's right, he was just acting. Although he had consumed a lot of chakra to quickly kill the mist ninja, his combat power was not weakened. It was no problem to press Shimura Danzo to the ground, even though wind style would restrain lightning style to a certain extent. It's just that they gained too much this time. If they are not careful, they will be besieged by the 4 major ninja villages. They can only take this opportunity to show weakness to the enemy. Next, Lord Reikage will have to publicly condemn the insidious and despicable behavior of the third Hokage of Konoha. The shadow clone of Tsuchita came over and said with a smile, the play is not over yet. This time they really gained a lot. Not only did they get the Uzumaki clan, but they also got the complete sealing technique inheritance of the Uzumaki clan, and annihilated nearly 1,000 ninja soldiers of the Hidden Mist village. And because they brought elites this time, plus the third Reikage's participation, the restraint of lightning style on water style and the assistance of the Uzumaki clan, they didn't suffer much casualties. It can be said that this plan was a complete success, and they also took advantage of the third Mizukage and the Hidden Mist village. Next, the internal situation of the Hidden Mist village will be very turbulent, and there will probably be no spare energy to retaliate. The internal conflicts in Konoha will not be small. Sarutobi Hiruzen is really too despicable and shameless. The third Reikage despised Sarutobi Hiruzen, and he only knew how to plot and calculate. But it is understandable. After all, the strength is there. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen is powerful, the title of the strongest Hokage is pure nonsense. Although the combined application of the 5 ninjutsu will increase the power, the increase is limited. At that time, Sarutobi Hiruzen and others were chased by Kinkaku and Ginkaku and fled in a panic, but he was able to kill Kinkaku and Ginkaku himself. This is the difference in strength. His strongest Raikage is real, and Sarutobi Hiruzen's is a lot of water. The strength is not enough to suppress everything, so they can only use conspiracy and trickery to supplement it, so as to weaken or even kill their own people. Summoning Technique Contract Scroll. At this time, the twins have deeply controlled the Monkey Demon, manipulated the Monkey Demon to make a seal to summon the Monkey Clan's summoning scroll, and transmitted the information about the Monkey Clan found from the Monkey Demon's memory to the third generation through illusion. The Uzumaki Aloe Shadow clone stepped forward to unfold the scroll and saw a series of names of the Sarutobi clan, including Sarutobi Shinosuke and Sarutobi Hiruzen. Third generation Hokage. The cold eyes locked on that name, and the Uzumaki Aloe Shadow clone hated it very much. He also saw the fire that broke out in the village before. Obviously, the situation at the border was not good. It was very likely the work of Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo. He wanted to pull Sarutobi Hiruzen out and cut him into pieces. Senior, please follow the plan. Even if we use the help of Sarutobi Hiruzen to summon Sarutobi Hiruzen and kill him, it will not be of much use. Moreover, once Sarutobi Hiruzen dies, Konoha will only become stronger. We have to consider and plan for the future of the village and the Uzumaki clan. The Dodai on the side persuaded him. Although they could take the opportunity to summon the third Hokage to kill him, it was not in line with the current interests and future plans of the Hidden Cloud village. Konoha would not be in chaos even if the third Hokage died, because Konoha still had a nine-tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Mito, and with his status as the wife of the first Hokage and the power and prestige of the Senju clan, as well as the pressure of external wars, the Senju clan would soon be able to take power in Konoha once Sarutobi Hiruzen died. Konoha would be even stronger at that time, so it would be more in their interest for the third Hokage to be alive. Even before, Shimura Danzo was deliberately let go by the third Hokage. They also wanted the third Hokage and Shimura Danzo to join forces to weaken or even kill the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan. After listening to Tsuchida's advice, the Uzumaki Aloe Shadow clone suppressed his hatred, raised his hands to form seals and cast a contract seal to seal the series of names of the Sarutobi family. The third Raikage then raised his hand to wipe the blood from the wound on his body, and wrote his name on the psychic scroll. Let's get started. After writing the name, the third Raikage wiped the blood on the hands of the Monkey Demon, and then nodded to the twin brothers. The two of them did not waste any time. They used the power of Sharingan eyes to control the Monkey Demon to release the channeling spell in return, where they then used reverse channeling to channel the third Raikage. They are all made of good quality materials. Looking at the mountain of monkeys, the third Raikage looked ferocious and immediately began to kill them. This is a psychic beast that the Sarutobi clan has been friends with for generations. It is impossible to conquer it, so they can only kill it. Moreover, this area of the psychic world is quite good, and they can be used to cultivate their own psychic beasts. Psychic beasts with a psychic world are much better to use than those without a psychic world. For example, in the psychic world, you can perform reverse psychic skills, which can save your life at critical moments. Of course, it is not easy to perform counter-spiritualism. You must at least have hand and claw seals and sufficient intelligence. This kind of psychic beast is rare in the ninja world, only the Ape clan of the three legendary holy places and the Sarutobi clan. It's a pity that the Ape clan cannot be subdued and can only be slaughtered. Let's look for suitable psychic beasts later. Not to mention the third Raikage who was quickly slaughtering in the psychic world. On the other side, Tamura Hao had followed the large army to the Uzushiogakure village, but all he saw was ruins. Grandfather, dad, mother, Uzumaki Kushina, who came with her, looked at the miserable home and burst into tears. She wanted to rush in to find her grandfather and father, but she was held back by Tamura Hao. Don't worry, there may be danger inside. Tamura Hao persuaded, and then looked at the four Anbu ninjas who were reporting to Todai, and the boy they brought back. The boy was in a miserable state, with both legs blown off, a lot of injuries on his body, and his consciousness fell into a coma. However, judging from the remaining clothes, he was the one who followed Sarutobi Shinosuke on his mission to Uzushiogakure in the morning. Is it really him? Tamura Hao suddenly realized that this person was indeed Danzo Shimura's killer move prepared for Uzushiogakure. That kind of nano-poisonous insect is indeed intractable and difficult to guard against. Over there, after understanding the situation, Tutai recruited a genjutsu ninja to forcibly control the seriously injured boy, control his body to form seals, and use chakra to control the poisonous insects into dormancy. Okay, everyone, go in and search for the surviving people. If you feel unwell, report it immediately. Return here and let him pull out the poisonous insects you have caught. After getting confirmation from the genjutsu ninja, Todai ordered a search and rescue operation in the village. Tamura Hao let go of Samahata, who had been impatient for a long time, and followed Uzumaki Kushina towards the depths of the ruins. There is a square barrier in the deepest part, and inside there are two figures slumped on the ground, none other than Masahiko Uzumaki and Alo Uzumaki. They are the only two people left in the village today. In the end, they relied on this barrier to withstand the explosion and survive, but they could not hold on for long. The poisonous insects in the body are too difficult to deal with. Even with their chakra and life force, they can't hold on for long, and their internal organs have been eaten away. Grandfather. Seeing her grandpa paralyzed there, Uzumaki Kushina hurried over and her tears continued to fall. Kushina. Seeing the arrival of his granddaughter, Uzumaki Masahiko's numb face had a smile on his face, and he dispersed the barrier to let his granddaughter in. Grandfather. Looking at her grandfather's pale face and the large pool of black blood in front of him, Kushina cried anxiously. Don't cry, Grandpa is just going to find your grandma. With difficulty, he raised his palms to wipe away the tears on his granddaughter's face. He was very happy to see his granddaughter at the last moment, but he soon became unhappy. You little devil. Looking at a figure standing 100 meters away, Uzumaki Masahiko's face became ferocious. Although the image has changed, the chakra will not change. He is that despicable and shameless brat. Kid, come here. Scolding in a cold voice, he hated that brat very much. I don't. Tamura Hao decisively refused and even stepped back 10 meters. Come here and die for me immediately. His face was even more ferocious, and Uzumaki Masahiko wanted to kill that hateful brat alive. I won't. Tamura Hao stepped back 10 meters again. He would not approach the old man. Even without getting close, he could tell that the other party was definitely full of malice, and if he really tried to get past him, he would definitely be beaten. Unfortunately, he obviously underestimated the ability of the Uzumaki clan. A diamond blockade suddenly sprang out from the ground and tied him up, and then he slipped in front of Masahiko Uzumaki. Looking at that ferocious old face, Tamura Hao calmed down and threatened, Old man, don't do anything stupid. If you bully me now, I will bully your granddaughter in the future. The bonds in the world of Naruto are very useful. As long as you grasp the bonds, you can control anyone. Sure enough, after hearing this threat, although Uzumaki Masahiko was very angry, he really couldn't deal with this kid. He couldn't jeopardize his granddaughter's future just to vent his anger. You could tell at a glance that this kid was not a good guy and he could do anything. Shame on you. Alo Uzumaki glanced at his eldest nephew with disdain, and then looked at the young man who had been lifted up and slipped away, which was very strange. The eldest nephew just told him the matter, but he didn't expect that the eldest nephew was deceived by a kid and even gave away his granddaughter and family heritage to him. What a shame. Young man, Kushina is your fiancé from today on. The marriage will be arranged as soon as possible when you become an adult. The more he looked at it, the more satisfied he became, and Alo Uzumaki decided to betroth Kushina to him. Now that the family's integration into Union Village is a foregone conclusion, a reliable person must be found within Union Village to guide them. Although this little guy is young, he is very intelligent and can assist the Raikage on his mission to Uzushio Hidden Village. His status is definitely not low and he is the best candidate. Although Uzumaki Masahiko's face turned dark, he did not refute. I don't want to marry that despicable villain. Uzumaki Kushina, who was crying sadly, instinctively objected. Even if Uzumaki Kushina remained single in her life, she would never marry that despicable villain. She is too stupid and will affect the IQ of future generations. Tamura Hao also decisively refused, causing the girl to glare angrily. The 2 sealing scrolls contain our clan's special sealing techniques, which cannot be unlocked without the correct method. Alo Uzumaki said with a smile. Although the eldest nephew was miserably deceived, he was not stupid. The two scrolls were blessed with special sealing techniques that could not be opened by others. Forcibly cracking it will only destroy everything inside. Sure enough, I have a backup plan. Tamura Hao said that it was true, and he was not surprised by this. Then I will reluctantly accept this stupid girl. In the end, we had to compromise, and we can only say that Ginger is still hotter than old. You little devil. Looking at that posture, Uzumaki Masahiko gritted his teeth. He was really getting an advantage and still acting like a good boy. You are the fool, I will never marry you. Uzumaki Kushina was also very angry, she was not stupid. You brat, remember this. Uzumaki Masahiko put the kid down and raised his hand to form a seal, which was the hand seal to release the two sealing scrolls. Tamura Hao did not use his brain to memorize it, but found a tile nearby and quickly carved numbers on it with kunai. Each number corresponded to a seal. As the saying goes, a good memory is not as good as a bad writing, so it is safer to burn it down directly. The seal is only one aspect, it also requires the cooperation of the chakra of our Uzumaki clan, otherwise the detonating talisman inside will be triggered and ignited, blowing up everything. After completing the seal and decrypting it, Masahiko Uzumaki gave a final reminder. He originally had a backup plan, thinking that even if Uzumaki Hidden Village was destroyed, his sister would be able to solve it, so it would not fall into the hands of outsiders, but who would have thought that he still couldn't prevent it, and even had to teach him in person. The more I think about it, the angrier it becomes. Little devil, don't worry, those inheritance heritage will be included in the village. As long as you contribute enough and have no problem with loyalty, you can practice it. Putting the piece of tile into the sealing technique of one piece of armor, Tamura Hao made a promise. After receiving Tamura Hao's assurance, the two felt better, but looking at the ruins of the village, they felt very uncomfortable. The village was not saved in the end. Konoha. Looking at the tragic situation in the village, he couldn't help but think of the culprit of all this, and Uzumaki Masahiko blamed himself even more. Those three people were the ones he allowed to enter the village. Who would have thought that they would cause such a big disaster? Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo will not end well. Uzumaki Alo is full of resentment, he will wait for the two people below. Uzumaki Masahiko said nothing more, the chakra maintained in his body was slowly dissipating, and he had reached the end. Grandfather. Uzumaki Kushina cried even more sadly, seeing that her grandfather had run out of energy and she was about to lose her grandfather. But she didn't cry for long. Tamura Hao stepped forward and knocked the girl unconscious with a knife. You little devil. Seeing his granddaughter being treated like this, Uzumaki Masahiko, who was about to close his eyes, widened his eyes and felt like he would never close his eyes, but there was a smile on his lips. This way Kushina will be less sad. We in Union Village must not be in this situation. Yi Yuyai and the others walked over and looked at the two old men who passed away, feeling even more determined in their hearts. The tragedy of Uzushiogakure village must be kept in mind, and such a thing must not be allowed to happen in Kumogakure village. Definitely not. Tamura Hao is also very determined. Union Village is his basic base, and he will naturally not allow others to destroy it. At this time, a series of cries came. It was the Uzumaki clan members who had been transferred away before. They looked at the village in ruins and the broken limbs of countless clan members, and they felt extremely sad in their hearts. For a time, the entire Uzushiogakure village burst into tears, and the entire village was shrouded in mourning. At the same time, there is also hatred for Konoha. They were allies, but this time they were betrayed by their allies. One can imagine the hatred. A huge village disappeared in the blink of an eye. Tamura Hao was very emotional. The ninja war is really terrible, especially in terms of weirdness. If you are not careful, you will lose everything. Just like in the next 3 battles, the strongest heavenly group of Kurigakure village entered the fire country, but suddenly a mad dai came out and was directly kicked into the 3 lucky treasures. The 3 people who survived also fell into a broken heart. The core of all this now is the young man from the Aburame clan, who is a strategic level existence. Is that supposed to be Aburame Shiguro, Aburame's father, who also became Danzo-sama's son? He probably guessed who it was. Aburame Kagan hadn't been born yet, so it could only be the other person's father, and he was about the same age. The ninja war is unpredictable, ever-changing, and terrifying. Looking at the broken limbs and broken arms on the ground, Tamura Hao felt a lingering fear in his heart. This is also the main reason why he specially made a long knife to fight at a distance from the enemy. He just doesn't want to get too close to this type of enemy, which is too dangerous. Our Kumogakure ninjas are a little worse than other ninja villages in terms of weirdness, and sometimes we suffer a lot. Fukai also lamented that the ninjas in Hidden Cloud Village were better at frontal combat and lacked the ability to deal with such weird methods. If they were to confront each other, they would be very passive. We need more to make up for our shortcomings, not just the Uzumaki clan. Yi Yui is very clear about the advantages and disadvantages of their union village. The advantages must continue to be carried forward, but the shortcomings must also be found. The best way is to obtain them from the outside world. This is the plan for the Uzumaki clan, but this is not the end, they need more. While chatting with the two of them, Tamura Hao walked Samahata to devour the chakra remaining in the corpses, especially those of the Uzumaki clan ninjas. The chakra of the Uzumaki clan is not only huge, but also contains amazing vitality. Samahata likes this high-quality chakra very much, and happily devours and absorbs it. Yui and Fukai became more and more fearful as they looked at the corpses on the ground. The huge Uzushiogakure village and 2,000 sand ninja and rock ninja were wiped out by Konoha silently, which was really terrifying. Compared to Konoha's method, their previous battle to annihilate the Kurigakure ninja army was not worth mentioning. I can only say that it is indeed the strongest ninja village. Tamura Hao also lamented the power of Konoha. There were too many ninjas in it, and they were all of the highest quality, far beyond what other ninja villages could compare to. Although there are many ninjas in the other 4 major ninja villages, there are not many top experts, but Konoha is able to mass-produce powerful people, even shadow-level experts. Even with Konoha F4's constant internal strife, which wiped out the 2 founding families, it was still the strongest ninja village in the end. The 4 battles became Konoha's personal show, and its rich heritage made people jealous. Suddenly Fukai looked up at the sky. Tamura Hao and Yui noticed something unusual and looked over. They found a figure in the distance taking off and leaving. However, his body shape was unstable, and it was obvious that the other party was not in good condition. It's the commander of the Iwagakure ninja army. Tamura Hao took out a telescope and looked at it, and immediately recognized the identity of the other party. He was the commander of the Iwa ninja army who had talked about them during the previous meeting. Is it because he didn't retreat immediately when he was in bad condition before, and now he has chakra to take off and escape? Brother I think he needs your help, don't let him fall to his death. Tamura Hao felt that this was an opportunity to beat the down dog. He, Tien, never held grudges and would avenge them quickly. This attracted Yui's puzzled eyes. What does the death of the rock ninja have to do with me? He wished that more rock ninjas would die. Tamura Hao explained seriously. I remember that you and the 3rd generation teacher both have earth attributes. If you get the kind of ninjutsu that reduces gravity or even flies from the hidden rock village, your speed should be faster, and the improvement in combat power will definitely be greater. In the future 4 wars, the 3rd generation Tsuchikage and the 4th generation Reikage had fought together. The 3rd generation Tsuchikage blessed the 4th generation Reikage with the super light and heavy rock technique to reduce the weight of the Reikage, thereby increasing his speed. For the Reikage who is good at the thunder release ninjutsu, the improvement in speed is the improvement in combat power. If the 4th generation Reikage can be improved, the stronger 3rd generation Reikage will definitely be improved, and it just so happens that both of them have the earth attribute. Don't die. Yui was shocked and anxious, and hurriedly used the thunder escape armor to increase his speed and chased after him, fearing that the man would not be able to hold on and fall to death. Although he could not fly, he saw that the other party was swaying and was obviously in a bad state. He could not hold on for long. Seeing his cousin chasing him so impulsively, Fukai was helpless. Teacher, you should also follow him and split a clone to inform Lord Tutai and others, and ask them to arrange a genjutsu ninja to go over. The other party will definitely not be able to hold on for too long with the poisonous insects in his body. He must get that kind of earth escape ninjutsu as soon as possible. Now the people in the hidden Turbo village are all ours, I will be fine. Tamura Hao said to Fukai. He also did not want Yui to have an accident because of the pursuit. Be careful, if there is anything wrong, use the detonating talisman immediately to ask for help. Fukai warned, and then used the thunder escape to let it notify Lord Tutai, and chased after his cousin himself. Tamura Hao continued to touch the corpse with Samahata, which was very happy and grew bigger. But after walking for a while, Tamura Hao suddenly realized something was wrong, and he pulled the huge Samahata over to block in front of him. At the same time, a detonating talisman appeared in his hand, and he stared at a house next to him. Who is it? Come out. If you don't come out, I will throw the detonating talisman. He sensed a very strange thought there, and the feeling was somewhat familiar. He had sensed it on the battlefield before, but it was only a flash. At that time, he thought it was an illusion, but now it seems that it is not an illusion. However, although the thought was strong, it was not malicious, otherwise he would have thrown out the detonating talisman long ago. He did not wait for long, and the other party appeared, but the form made Tianqun Hao a little confused. I saw a pool of liquid asphalt flowing out of the room and came to Tianqun Hao to form a black head. Looking at the black thing, Tianqun Hao was stunned, and didn't understand why this person would find him. Is it because of the shadow of Kagaya? Tianqun Hao quickly thought of the shadow of Kagaya in the spiritual world, and he had a plan in his mind. Guiding the shadow of Kagaya to merge deeply with his own chakra, Tianqun Hao hypnotically imitated the brilliance of maternal love, squatted down and touched the cheek of Heiju, and even his eyes were sparkling, as if he was looking at his own child. Mom. This feeling made Black Zetsu involuntarily call out, Mom. This feeling was definitely not wrong, especially the chakra in his body. That was his mother's chakra, extremely pure. After maintaining this state for a long time, Tianqun Hao just broke the connection with Kagaya's phantom, and the look of maternal love also disappeared. Mom, are you my sister's child? Tamura Hao showed a puzzled look. Why do you have my mother's chakra? Black Zetsu also stared at the boy in front of him, not understanding why this person had his mother's chakra. Let's talk in the house. Looking around, Tianqun Hao released Samahata and walked towards the house, and Black Zetsu moved to follow. He had to figure out the problem with the boy, so he chose to show up. He walked into the house and sat down, looking at the Black Zetsu in front of him, and said, When I first extracted chakra, my sister was in my mind, and I always dreamed of her. She always told me about children, and she must be talking about you. Contract. Black Zetsu thought for a while, and remembered a secret technique in the inheritance left by his mother, which was unique to the Otsutsuki clan. It can record body data and imprint it on the person who matches it, so as to revive it. But it is very difficult to leave a contract, and there are extremely demanding requirements for the carrier. Also, there is no sign of the contract on this boy, so it should not be a contract, at least not a complete contract. Thinking of this, Black Zetsu made a judgment. In any case, this person has his mother's chakra, so he is one of his own, and that feeling is correct. Who are you? Who is my sister? Why did she appear in my body? Why can she absorb the pupil power of the Sharingan and the remaining chakra in the internal organs of the second Hokage? And the flesh and blood chakra of the 9 tails and the 8 tails? Do you also like the chakra of Kagaya ninja and Uzumaki ninja? Tamura Hao asked, looking very serious, indicating that I, Tien, have many small questions that need to be answered. You can call me Black Zetsu. After thinking for a while, Black Zetsu thought of a name. He himself has no name. After his mother used the last power to create him, she was sealed and there was no time to give him a name. The name Black Zetsu corresponds to the White Zetsu army created by his mother. My mother's name is Kagaya Otsutsuki. She is the true ancestor of the chakra of the ninja world. All the power of the ninja world comes from my mother, so it can naturally be absorbed by my mother. It's a pity that she was sealed and seized by the Six-Path Sage. As the inheritor of my mother, although you are not perfect, your identity is destined. You must rescue my mother, so that you can also gain more power. Since you are the inheritor of my mother, you are one of us. At least with my mother's chakra, this person can't betray my mother. It's even possible that this is a backup plan left by my mother. It wasn't until today that a suitable person was found to carry out the revival. This made him feel like he had found a confidant. For thousands of years, he had been hiding in the dark and silently planning and struggling alone. Not to mention the loneliness. Now he has a fellow traveler, even a younger brother, and that feeling is so wonderful. Also, you should be created by a backup plan left by my mother. You should call me mother like me, not sister. He corrected the other party's name for his mother. In Black Zetsu's view, this is his younger brother, and he was also created by his mother. They should work together to save their mother. I don't call her mother, that's my sister. Tamura Hao resolutely objected, and then his expression became solemn. I need to know more about my sister. Although Black Zetsu was unhappy, he didn't care. He organized his words and said, the story of my mother started a long time ago, when my mother came to this world. While saying this, he observed the boy in front of him. Although the other party was his mother's choice, if this person did not choose to help him unseal his mother, he would not mind swallowing him. So it's okay to tell these top secrets. If the other party can become a real one of his own and prepare to unseal his mother together, it will be perfect. After Black Zetsu finished speaking, Tianqun Hao thought seriously for a while, and then took out a kunai and quickly carved it on the ground, and soon sketched a figure. As the feathered robe you mentioned, that is, the six-path sage, him. Seeing that figure, Black Zetsu's eye sockets became bigger. How do you know him? Have you seen him? Heiju was very nervous. Although the boy's figure was very vague, the general image was there, especially the unique shape of the horns, which matched the figure in his mother's memory very well. But it stands to reason that that person is already dead, and thousands of years have passed. How could this child know? Could it be that the mother's inheritance gave the other party some memory fragments? This person's figure exists in all chakras, and will be swallowed by my sister as soon as he appears. Judging from your tone, this does not seem to be the sage of six paths. Tamura Hao gave a brief explanation. If you want to fool this 1,000-year-old monster, you can't do it without revealing something real. Hearing that this was the reason, Black Zetsu breathed a sigh of relief and explained, he is my mother's enemy, named Otsutsuki Ashiki. He was killed by my mother 1,000 years ago, and his body was integrated into the 10 tails, pushing the 10 tails to evolve into the final form. The form of the sacred tree. It is normal for his chakra to exist in the ninja world's chakra. Quote. Nodding clearly, Tamura Hao immediately started to draw again, drawing another figure. Then this is the sage of six paths, right? His painting ability is not bad, and the previous pornographic masterpieces were all accompanied by many illustrations, all of which were high-quality works that he had seen online in his previous life. This is also a major reason why those masterpieces are so popular. Well, he is Hagoromo. After reading it, Heiju nodded. Although it was blurry, the general image was correct. He would never forget Hagoromo's appearance, he could still recognize it even if it turned into ashes. You know the Jinchuriki of Mrs. First Hokage, right? Tamura Hao used his kunai to scrape the floor where the figure was carved, while talking about the Jinchuriki. He had already had some ideas about this, but he didn't expect Heiju to suddenly come looking for him, but that was just right, Heiju must have what he wanted. I know. Black Zetsu nodded, not understanding why the boy said this. My sister can become stronger or recover by swallowing chakra. My chakra has been swallowed by her and has become very pure. Now I need other people's chakra, especially the pupil power of the Sharingan and the chakra of the Senju clan. The chakra of Kagaya and Uzumaki ninjas is also okay, and the chakra of the tailed beasts is best. She is in my head and cannot be swallowed directly. I need to open up a sealed space in my body to transfer my sister in. The more perfect the better. The most important thing is to hide it, so that it cannot be sensed by others, and it cannot be seen through by pupil techniques such as the Sharingan Byakugan. That's right, what Tamura Hao wants is the six paths 10 tails coffin seal used by Uchiha Madara and Uchiha Obito. Others don't know, but this big guy should know. Not only has it survived for thousands of years, it is also the legacy of Kagaya Otsutsuki. The inheritance it possesses is by no means as simple as shown in the animation. Black Zetsu understood, and after thinking for a while, he said, I know a sealing technique that can perfectly connect the power of the mother to you. Reveal your abdomen and I will help you build it. Tamura Hao did not hesitate, and lifted up his clothes to reveal his abdomen with 8 abdominal muscles. With the golden finger as a foundation, he was not afraid of Black Zetsu's tricks. Black Zetsu showed his black hands, and used the power of yin-yang escape to draw the technique on the boy's abdomen. Finally, he slapped his abdomen hard, and all the sorcerers merged into his body. Tamura Hao merged his chakra into it, and soon sensed the huge space inside, which was a very huge space. Without delay, he used chakra as a medium to transfer Kagaya's phantom into it. The transfer of Kagaya's phantom instantly made the yin-yang escape chakra that constructed the sealed space resonate with it, and even actively merged into it, gaining control of this sealed space. Even Kagaya's phantom became much more solid and agile. Realizing that he had lost contact with the sealed space, Black Zetsu immediately plunged into it, and was excited when he saw Kagaya's phantom. "Mom, it's really you. This is confirmed, this is Mom." The shadow of Kagaya seemed to feel something and looked at Black Zetsu, just watching quietly. Tamura Hao used chakra to form a body in the sealed space. Looking at the more agile shadow of Kagaya, he confirmed a previous guess. He had guessed earlier that the shadow of Kagaya would definitely continue to improve, and even give birth to spiritual intelligence, which is also a characteristic of chakra. After all, the chakra of the six-path sage can manifest a figure through Uchiha Madara's thigh, and can also manifest directly in the spiritual world of Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke, not to mention Otsutsuki Kagaya. You want to awaken the eyes of the six-path sage through Uchiha Madara, so as to break his seal on your sister. I don't think it's reliable. Tamura Hao suddenly said, "It's time to show his ability to fool people." "What do you want to say?" Black Zetsu, who finally calmed down, turned his head and waited for his brother's next words. "There is a fatal loophole in your plan, that is the six-path sage. Is he really dead? You are hiding in the dark and planning, and he may also be hiding in the dark and planning. When you led Uchiha Madara to that path, he may have noticed it. All your plans are under his observation. I don't think you can beat him." Tamura Hao does not think that the six-path sage is dead. You must know that the six-path sage is a pure Otsutsuki, and he has awakened the Samsara Eye. He is also the 10 Tails Jinchuriki, not much worse than Otsutsuki Kagaya. Even Otsutsuki Kagaya and Black Zetsu, as well as the 9-tailed beasts, can survive for so long, and the six-path sage can't be worse. In addition to the six-path sage's resurrection and many operations in the Fourth War, he thinks there is a big problem. I know there are risks in this plan, but I have no choice. Black Zetsu said helplessly. He naturally knew that this was risky, otherwise he would not have been hiding in the dark after the death of the six-path sage. The chakra of Hagoromo has always existed in the ninja world, and even the chakra of Indra and Ashura can be reincarnated continuously, not to mention Hagoromo. And the Samsara Eye of Hagoromo has also disappeared, which is indeed very abnormal. But he has no other way. The Samsara Eye is the foundation for removing the seal of his mother, and he must get it out. If you can have a power that exceeds the power of the six-path sage, can you forcibly break his seal on your sister? Tamura Hao continued to ask. Compared with using the infinite moon reading to revive Kagaya Otsutsuki, he is more inclined to break it by force, which is also a big change. Power beyond Hagoromo. Black Zetsu thinks it is unreliable, even impossible. He had sensed it before. This younger brother does not have the blood of Hagoromo and Hamura, but simply has chakra. It is impossible for him to reach the height of Hagoromo. If that level is really that easy to reach, he would not have to struggle for thousands of years. How can we know if we don't try? Tamura Hao is very confident in himself. As a time traveler with a golden finger, his future is beyond the imagination of ordinary people. Don't count on this phantom of my mother. It's too far away. Black Zetsu still rejected it. After seeing this phantom, he knew that this was not his mother's contract, at least not a complete contract, and it was impossible to obtain much power from his mother, especially the bloodline network. Tamura Hao didn't say much about this, and turned to talk about the 10 tails. Can you make a small 10 tails so that my sister can absorb some external power, or at least filter it? I have sealed some of the remains of the sacred tree, which are still somewhat active. I will send them to you later. Black Zetsu did not refuse. Although the potential of this phantom is limited, it is enough for the boy to surpass everyone in the current ninja world. At least it should not be difficult to reach the level of Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama. There are also the chakras of the major tailed beasts, especially the chakra of the 9 tails. Absorbing its chakra can enhance my perception of good and evil. Tamura Hao further proposed the chakra of the tailed beasts. Black Zetsu must have this thing. Even the man from the fire temple could collect so much 9 tails chakra during the 9 tails rebellion. There is no reason why this big guy would not collect it. That perception ability comes from the 9 tails original power. Only that original power can surpass the chakra of the ninjas in the ninja world and be sensed by you. It is useless to absorb the 9 tails ordinary chakra, but the ordinary chakra of the tailed beast can be used to cultivate the 10 tails. Although the potential is not high, it should be possible to reach the level of the tailed beast. Black Zetsu rejected Tamura Hao's idea. If pure chakra could reach that level, he would have collected a large amount of tailed beast chakra to secretly shape the 10 tails. Chakra origin. Tamura Hao suddenly realized that he didn't expect there was such a saying, but this is right. Although the tailed beast is a collection of chakra, it is not pure chakra, otherwise there would be no flesh and blood. It is more reasonable to have an original power, which is the foundation of the tailed beast. In this way, if he wants to improve his perception of good and evil, he can only plan on the 9 tails. I don't know how many years the first generation Hokage's wife can live. Then keep an eye on the wife of the first Hokage. She is not young anymore. When the 9 tails is transferred, there will be an opportunity. I will let the third Raikage and others help me snatch it, at least to get some flesh and blood of the 9 tails. Tamura Hao attaches great importance to the ability to perceive good and evil, and it will also be the most reliable way to save his life in the future. At least he will not let the enemy get close. Can you influence the third Raikage and the Hidden Cloud Village? Black Zetsu was surprised. It seems that this younger brother has a high status in the Hidden Cloud Village. I am the disciple of the third Raikage. I bought it with 1 billion taels of banknotes, and I provided the Hidden Cloud Village with a firearms plan, which is enough for the Hidden Cloud Village to gain the power to unify the ninja world. Tamura Hao did not hide the reason why he successfully became a disciple. Unlike others, this Black Zetsu only has one thought in his mind: saving Kagaya Otsutsuki. He doesn't care about the ninja world. In addition, with Kagaya's phantom as a bridge, they are considered to be their own people. As long as he and the Hidden Cloud Village can provide support for his mother-saving plan, Black Zetsu will definitely not mind helping the Hidden Cloud Village grow. Just like he will help the Akatsuki organization grow in the future. 1 billion taels. Bought. Black Zetsu was a little confused. Can this be bought? You, the disciple of the Raikage, are really valuable. Then his attention turned to the firearms plan, which should be the focus. What is the firearm plan? Tamura Hao gestured and explained. It's similar to fireworks. Make an iron pipe and put the detonating tag in it. Put a metal bullet in front of it. Use the detonating tag to eject the metal bullet to cause damage. If the number and size are enough, even a shadow-level strongman can be killed. The most important thing is that this thing can be mass-produced and the use requirements are very low. You only need chakra to trigger the detonating tag. It is enough to form a huge ninja army and sweep across the ninja world. This time, we plan the Uzumaki clan to serve the firearm plan. With the help of sealing techniques, we can add attribute ninjutsu to the firearm plan and create firearms with the power of escape techniques, such as the sharp acceleration of wind escape, the penetration of lightning escape, the hardness of earth escape, the explosion of fire escape, etc. Tamura Hao seemed very frank. There was no need to hide this. With Black Zetsu's ability, there was no information that he could not find out as long as he wanted. Black Zetsu thought more, thinking of the 100,000 White Zetsu army that his mother had created. The White Zetsu itself was average in combat power, but if equipped with that kind of firearms, the combat power would definitely be greatly improved. His mother had always been wary of the arrival of those powerful people of the same clan, so she created the White Zetsu army. Strengthening the White Zetsu army was a must. It sounds good. Black Zetsu approved the firearm plan. It seems that this younger brother is still very useful. Originally, I just wanted to use this to unify the ninja world, build a flawless empire, and cut off the countless tragedies created by the ninja world. Now it seems that there are too many enemies. Tamura Hao showed a sense of ambition, with a faint light flashing in his eyes. He evolved with reference to the postures of those heroes in the previous life's film and television dramas, and even hypnotized himself. Let me calculate. Our enemies at this stage are the other 4 major ninja villages, especially Konoha. Now there is the Six Paths Sage and his brother, and we don't know where they are hiding. Then there are the same clan as your sister. Since they are the same clan, there must be many people. It is impossible to have only one Otsutsuki Ashiki. Those people must also be on guard. Anything else? After calculating, Tamura Hao signaled Black Zetsu to add. Those beasts in the 3 holy places are also counted, especially the toads in Myoboku Mountain. These are the enemies for now, but there is one thing to note. Once the infinite Tsukuyomi plan is successfully implemented, the reappearance of the sacred tree will inevitably be sensed by the same clan as my mother, and then descend into this world, and it is very likely to come with malicious intent. Black Zetsu added that there is a lot of information in the inherited memory given by his mother, one of which is that the sacred tree is the coordinate for those people to locate the world. The Otsutsuki clan mainly relies on the power of space to travel between the worlds, and the sacred tree is their space coordinate. That means we have to make more preparations and have the strength to rival those people to rescue and protect my sister. Tamura Hao understood, and kept talking about rescuing his sister, showing his attachment to that sister, even a possessiveness, like a senior sister control. And this attachment and possessiveness made Black Zetsu quite satisfied. It seems that the child nurtured by the mother is still very reliable, at least much stronger than the 2 beasts Yuya and Hamura. Mom doesn't need protection. She is very strong. She only needs to be unsealed to solve all enemies. Black Zetsu is very confident in the strength of the mother, who is absolutely invincible. Forget it. According to what you said, the Six Paths Sage is not as strong as my sister, but my sister was defeated and sealed by them, and even her power was taken away. Obviously, my sister is not good at fighting and is not a qualified warrior. You should not have strong fighting ability in your condition. In the end, I have to protect my sister. Tamura Hao confronted without hesitation. Mother is not very good at fighting. After a moment of silence, Black Zetsu finally admitted that Mother had a shortcoming in combat awareness. It was precisely because of this that he was defeated and sealed by the weaker Yui in his group. Tamura Hao said calmly, I already understand the situation. You and your plan are likely to have been exposed. Even if Uchiha Madara can awaken the Samsara Eye, it is likely that the Six Paths Sage is secretly operating it. In the future, if he uses it as a foundation to rescue his sister, he will be more likely to be calculated and sealed again, or even killed by him. Or he may further seize his sister's power and reach her level. He may even have made sufficient preparations to attract his sister's clansmen to come here and turn this place into his hunting ground to hunt and devour those Otsutsuki to make him stronger. We have to make another plan in secret, so as to form one light and one dark. You will attract the attention of the immortal of Six Paths, and I will make preparations in secret. Quote. Okay, my plan itself doesn't need your help, you just do what you want. Black Zetsu agreed that the core of his plan was Uchiha Madara and did not require external assistance. It would be better to let the younger brother secretly make another plan as a backup. If his own plan fails, he can activate his younger brother's plan and be much more sure of rescuing his mother. I need to know all the information about the 5 great ninja villages, especially Konoha. Tamura Hao wanted to know more, especially what was not shown in the original work. Black Zetsu didn't say much, and used genjutsu to transmit the information he knew into Tamura Hao's mind. Reincarnation from the dirty earth, resurrecting the dead. After browsing the information in his mind, Tamura Hao showed a thoughtful expression. According to Black Zetsu's information, the second generation Hokage had basically completed the reincarnation of the dirty land before his death, and it only needs many experiments to continue to improve. The first Hokage is the reincarnation carrier of Asura's chakra. The Senju clan is the descendant of the Six Paths Sage and Asura. The first Hokage captured the 9-tailed beasts and dispersed them to the 5 ninja villages. The first Hokage's wife created the 9-tailed Jinchuriki. The second Hokage Senju Tobirama developed a forbidden technique that can resurrect the dead. At the same time, Uchiha Madara was induced by you to embark on the path of integrating the Samsara Eye. Is it a coincidence that everything has come together? Quote. At the end, Tamura Hao asked a question, and Heizetsu fell into silence. It seems that in your plan, you will not only have to fight against the living people of the 5 great ninja villages in the future, but also the dead, especially the first Hokage. And I can probably guess where the Sage of Six Paths is hiding. Quote. A smile appeared on Tamura Hao's face. He had already guessed where the Sage of Six Paths was hiding, and it must be the legendary Pure Land of the Underworld. You must know that at the end of the next 4 battles, the Sage of Six Paths will summon the souls of the past cages of the 5 great ninja villages out of thin air. Heiju's mentality became worse and worse, and he felt that his whole body was not good. I thought it was a perfect plan, but I didn't expect it to have so many loopholes. Since the Immortal of Six Paths wants to be a hunter hiding in the dark and has been hiding for thousands of years, it is unlikely that he will show up easily. There is a high probability that he will complete his plan through his 2 sons. According to you, the chakras of the 2 people often compete in reincarnation. Now it depends on when their next reincarnation will begin. If they are too close, it means that the Six Paths Sage has completed the layout and is waiting for you to go inside. Jumped. Especially for the reincarnation of Indra, the core of his lineage is the Sharingan. An ordinary kaleidoscope is not enough. You need an eternal eye like Uchiha Madara, and you need a good brother with high enough qualifications. Quote. Tamura Hao turned the topic to the reincarnation of the next generation Indra Asura Chakra, hoping to arouse Black Zetsu's vigilance. If it could change the infinite Tsukuyomi plan, it would be perfect. This kind of big change will definitely bring about a big wave of destiny. I'll keep an eye on the Uchiha. Black Zetsu's mentality became worse and worse, so he could only keep an eye on the Uchiha clan. At the same time, I am grateful to have such an excellent brother, otherwise I would not be saving my mother, but harming her. Hagoromo and Hamura are so mean. After discussing some things with Black Zetsu in detail, Tamura Hao left and walked with Samahata to continue to touch corpses and devour chakra, especially those of Uzumaki ninjas. Black Zetsu was very efficient. The next day, he sent the remains of the sacred tree to Tamura Hao's sealed space to help shape a small 10 tails. The sacred tree is the final form of the 10 tails, and the sacred tree can naturally degenerate into the 10 tails, not to mention that Black Zetsu also contributed the chakra of the tailed beasts collected in the past 1,000 years. Although there is no original power, it is enough to guide the remains of the sacred tree to transform into a small 10 tails. Of course, this kind of small 10 tails evolved from the remains of the sacred tree has low potential and a limited carrying capacity. It can only grow to the level of the 9-tailed beasts at most, and it is impossible to evolve into a real 10 tails, let alone the final form of the sacred tree. However, this is enough for Tamura Hao. He only uses the 10 tails and Keigaya's Phantom as auxiliary plugins for rapid improvement and a trump card for self-protection. What he really values is himself. In addition, Black Zetsu also brought a white Zetsu for the little 10 tails to devour, in order to enhance the ability to simulate chakra and make the simulation more perfect. Although you don't have the blood of Yuya and the others, you can become that kind of strong man with chakra. Looking at the evolved little 10 tails, Black Zetsu suddenly said. Tamura Hao's chakra phantom looked over, waiting for Black Zetsu's next words, and was very interested in it. Is there any way to become stronger in this world besides the blood of Otsutsu? Black Zetsu didn't keep the secret and continued, it's the evolution of bloodline. Chakra attributes merge into bloodline. The fusion of 7 chakra attributes into one is bloodline network. Mother has the power of bloodline network. Yuya and others also have bloodline network. Samsara I itself is a kind of bloodline network. The process of bloodline transformation will improve your chakra bloodline. If you confuse bloodline network, your body will also transform and shape a strong bloodline for yourself, which will not be much worse than Yuya and others. This is in the mother's inheritance. It is an essence of chakra. Even the foundation of the Otsutsuki clan is still chakra, not bloodline constitution. Everything is evolved from chakra. That is the beginning of everything. The Otsutsuki clan is just that their ancestors cultivated chakra to a certain level, completed the transformation of their own bloodline and passed down the power. That just allows the Otsutsuki clan to have a higher starting point. The ancestors of the Otsutsuki clan can do it, and others can definitely do it. It is extremely difficult at most. At least I have to give this younger brother some hope, so that he can work harder to improve. I don't have strong combat power, so it's just right to let my younger brother come up to supplement this aspect. But I only have one thunder attribute, and I don't have any yin and yang attributes. Tamura Hao frowned. Although the bloodline fusion route has unlimited potential, the problem is that I only have one attribute. Do I have to transplant the flesh and blood of others? Or do I have to tinker with the ghost sprout technique like Biruo? It seems that there was a person named Hinata Jing in the previous life of Naruto who took that route and finally achieved the bloodline network. This can also be changed by bloodline fusion. You cultivate other changes that match the lightning attribute, and then fuse them into bloodline. In this way, you can use the lightning attribute as the foundation and use the power of bloodline to integrate another attribute into the bloodline, and transform that attribute into your chakra attribute. This is the same as the transformation of bloodline fusion. After bloodline fusion, the body will gain unprecedented chakra attributes, and naturally it can also gain basic attributes that it does not have. Or you can also understand that chakra itself has all the attributes, but some of them are too strong to be manifested, and some are too low to be manifested. Bloodline fusion is to enhance the weak ones and manifest them. Chakra contains infinite possibilities, and its potential is beyond your imagination. Black Zetsu said away. The power of chakra is very magical. Yuya's claim to have unlocked the true meaning of chakra is just talk. Chakra is far from as simple as they think. Even if the power that the mother had back then was far from the limit of chakra, Yuya and Hamura were even worse, otherwise their bodies would not have aged so much. For the Otsutsuki, the bloodline net is just a starting point. All orthodox Otsutsuki have at least one bloodline net ability. The limit achieved by Yuya and Hamura is just the starting point of the Otsutsuki. Can it be done this way? Tamura Hao suddenly realized that he had never thought of this way before, and it was not mentioned in the original Naruto. However, he had no doubt about the potential of chakra. After all, it was the power that supplied the Otsutsuki clan to dominate the universe and devour life planets. Even if the Otsutsuki clan did not actively practice, they could become so powerful just by devouring. If they actively practiced to master the secrets of chakra, it was really unimaginable to what extent they could be powerful. What about the black thunder of my teacher, the third generation Reikage? Asking about the black thunder of the teacher, Tamura Hao had asked Yaoi before, but Yaoi was not clear about it. She only said that it was accidentally obtained by her father when practicing the lightning chakra mode, not bloodline, so Yaoi did not inherit the power of that black thunder. In addition, future Kakashi has also invented a purple lightning, which is much more powerful than ordinary lightning escape. Black Zetsu explained. The mystery of chakra is far from as simple as you think. The current research on chakra in the ninja world is just the tip of the iceberg, and the potential for its nature change is endless. Back then, Yuya and Hamura cultivated the yin-yang attribute to a certain level and transformed into a stronger yin-yang power. The nature change of the 5 escape attributes can also be cultivated to that level, but it is more difficult. At the same time, the nature change is the foundation of the continuous fusion of bloodline. The deeper the cultivation of nature change, the deeper the level of bloodline fusion will be. Among them, the yin-yang attributes are the core foundation and the most important. If you want to surpass Yuya and others, in addition to cultivating the yin-yang power, you must also cultivate the other 5 attributes to that level. As for the black thunder of the third generation Reikage, it can be regarded as a barely entry in the cultivation of thunder attribute. Quote, although this is very difficult and almost impossible to do, at least it can give this younger brother a goal and let him work hard towards that goal. At least there will be some achievements, not to mention that there are Mother and the little 10-tailed as helpers. The power of yin, the power of yang, the power of wind, the power of thunder, the power of earth, the power of water, and the power of fire. Quote, after reciting the 7 powers, Tianqunhao was full of confidence. This must be difficult for others to do, but his plug-in is just to enhance his understanding. As long as he gives himself enough time and the power of fate, he will definitely succeed. And he has also entered the stage of changing the nature of thunder attributes. Go and devour the corpses of the Uzumaki clan. The blood they inherited can help this little 10-tails to improve and enhance the original power. Quote, looking at the small 10-tails that was only the size of a watermelon, Black Zetsu reminded him and left the sealed space. Tamura Hao did not stop either. He left the tent where he lived and went to the cemetery of the Uzumaki clan. The bodies of the Uzumaki clan were packed up and buried yesterday. Because the last detonating tag blew up almost all the bodies, only some broken limbs could be found. They were distinguished by the special sensitivity of the Uzumaki clan's chakra and placed together for burial. As for the remains of the Sand Ninja and the Rock Ninja, they were packed up and put away by the Cloud Ninja. The body of a ninja itself is an important piece of information. The practice of many ninjutsu secrets will leave traces on the body, especially for those bloodline ninjas. Such good materials naturally cannot be wasted. Tamura Hao came to the side of the huge grave, pressed his palm on the ground, and his chakra was connected with the chakra of the small 10 tails. A tentacle pierced into the ground from the palm of his hand, extending to the many whirlpool corpses below, piercing into the blood power that devoured the corpses inside. Blood is the core foundation of ninjas. All power comes from blood inheritance, especially from the descendants of the Six-Path Sage and Otsutsuki Hamura, whose blood is far beyond the reach of ordinary people. Before, he could only absorb chakra, but now with the little 10-tail, he can deeply absorb the power of blood. The little 10-tail obviously likes the blood power of the Whirlpool Ninja very much, and screams excitedly. Kagaya's shadow holds the little 10-tail in her arms, and absorbs and refines the core power of the Whirlpool Ninja's blood through the little 10-tail, especially the marks in the chakra, which is the best nourishment for her, and through this, she perfects herself. The illusory figure is further condensed, and the spirituality is getting stronger and stronger. The camp is established. Quote, looking at the changes in Kagaya's phantom and the little 10 tails, Tamura Hao understood that his position was established. He was not opposed to standing on the side of Black Zetsu or even Kagaya Otsutsuki. In his opinion, neither Black Zetsu, Kagaya Otsutsuki, nor the Six-Path Sage were good people. Even without conspiracy theories, the thousands of years of war and countless tragedies caused by ninjas were enough to prove something. The Six-Path Sage claimed to maintain peace and order. He really couldn't understand how the old guy could say this with such a thick face. Did you maintain the peace, tranquility and order of the Pure Land of Hades? Since none of them were good people, it didn't matter which side he cooperated with. Compared with the Six-Path Sage, who was too mysterious and had 2 sons as pawns, Black Zetsu, who knew everything about him and had no real accomplices, was more reassuring. Vajra blockade. Looking at the golden chakra chain extending from his palm, Tamura Hao smiled. Having devoured the blood and chakra of so many Uzumaki ninjas, the 10 tails gained new power, which is this kind of chakra chain, which has a strong suppressive effect on any chakra, especially the tailed beasts. This kind of Vajra blockade is the same as the chakra chain of the Outer Path Demon statue, but the Outer Path Demon statue is more powerful, higher level, and has a stronger restraint on the tailed beasts. The current little 10 tails is naturally far from being comparable to the Outer Path Demon statue, but it has also stably obtained the Vajra blockade of the Uzumaki clan. If the little 10 tails continues to be upgraded, the Vajra blockade may be upgraded to the chakra chain of the Outer Path Demon statue. Of course, this kind of diamond seal is now the power of the 10 tails, not his. Improving his own strength is more important. Now this kind of diamond seal is just to give him the power to protect himself in the early stage, so as not to die before he succeeds. What are you doing here? At this time, a crisp voice came from behind. Tiankyun Hao put away the diamond seal and turned around. Who else could it be but Uzumaki Kushina? The little girl's eyes were red and her eye circles were a little swollen. Obviously, she cried very sadly before, but she showed him a fierce little expression. Ferocious and cute. The scenery here is nice, let me see it. Tamura Hao said that he did nothing, just came to see the scenery. It must be said that the Uzumaki clan is very good at choosing places. It is a waste to use this place as a cemetery with birds singing and flowers blooming. It should be developed into a villa area, which will definitely make a lot of money. You are lying, you must be doing something shameful. The little girl didn't believe it at all, and even walked forward to see what someone had just done sneakily. But as soon as she came over, she felt a pain in the back of her neck and fainted again. Why force me? Looking at the girl lying on the ground, Tiankyun Hao felt that this girl would be a big trouble in the future. He immediately lifted the girl up and flattened the small hole left by the little 10 tails when it drilled into the ground. Fortunately, the hole was not big, only the thickness of a finger, and it was easy to cover up. Carrying the girl back to the ruins of the Hidden Tide village, Tianqunhao handed her to a woman from the Uzumaki clan to take care of her, and walked inside. Although the Hidden Tide village was bombed into ruins, some things can still be found, so they naturally cannot be wasted. Ah Hao, I'm looking for you. At this time, Yui came with a huge scroll on his back, took it off and handed it to Tianqunhao. The bodies are all inside. The poisonous insects have controlled the boy and extracted them all, and there is also an arm of Danzo. I have studied Samahata before and found that this thing can not only devour other people's chakra, but also devour flesh and blood to refine chakra, and it is very efficient. The flesh and blood of ninjas is even more tonic for it. So they sealed up all the bodies of the ninjas who participated in the war after processing them. Fortunately, the Uzumaki clan had a special sealing technique to seal the bodies, so they would not rot in a short time. Of course, they specially extracted the bones of the Kagaya clan, and kept the flesh and blood as food for Samahata. Although it looked a bit evil, as long as it could improve the strength of the junior brother, these little things were nothing. Did that person catch up? Tamura Hao took the huge sealed scroll and asked the person who escaped yesterday. He caught up. It was indeed the commander of the Iwagakure ninja army this time. His name was Shishirin. He knew a lot of top-secret information about the Iwagakure village, including the plan for the next war. And they already had the four-tailed Jinchuriki and sent them to the battlefield of the Whirlpool country. If they had known earlier, they would have taken him down at that time. Yui regretted that they really didn't know that the Iwagakure village actually had the tailed beast Jinchuriki. Although he often ran away, he could already use the power of the tailed beast in a preliminary way. According to the records, the strength of the four-tailed beast is relatively low among the nine-tailed beasts, and it is easier to seal. The eight-tailed beast is too strong. Tamura Hao guessed who Yui was talking about. It should be that old purple. According to his age, the other party should be 20 years old now, but I don't know if he has obtained the lava escape. The eight-tailed beast is indeed too strong, but it won't be a big deal in a short time. Thinking of this harvest, Yui's mouth was almost grinning to his ears. That Zishirin was the confidant of the third-generation Tsuchikage Onoki, and he was taught a lot of secret techniques. The light and heavy rock technique and the super light and heavy rock technique are very practical. Combined with the speed increase of the lightning escape chakra mode, it is simply like adding wings to a tiger. When my father learns that kind of ninjutsu, his strength will definitely be improved to a higher level. When he faces the eight-tailed beast again, he will definitely be able to suppress it easily, and he won't be exhausted every time. It seems that you, brother have gained a lot. Tamura Hao understood that he must have obtained the ninjutsu used by that person. I'll remember your contribution to the S-level mission this time. If it weren't for your reminder, we would have missed this opportunity. With a grin on his face, Yui felt that his junior brother was really a lucky star for their hidden cloud village. I want to learn some sealing techniques. Tamura Hao was very envious of the light and heavy rock technique and the super light and heavy rock technique, but unfortunately he didn't have the earth attribute and couldn't practice it for the time being, but the Uzumaki clan's sealing techniques were also good stuff. Although he hadn't seen the practice method of the Yang seal, he must have a certain foundation of sealing techniques. He was a novice in this area and could only use chakra to trigger the sealing technique. He needed to learn it next. Now you should focus more on the practice of changing the nature of the thunder attribute. It is not good to be greedy for too much, and sealing techniques generally require a huge amount of chakra. Even if you learn it, you won't be able to use it. Yui does not agree with Tamura Hao's idea, and now he should concentrate on the practice of changing the nature of thunder attributes. I have already mastered the preliminary practice, and the rest is to become proficient and not delay. And there is a reason why I learned the sealing technique. The Uzumaki clan leader said that a sun seal can store chakra, which can indirectly solve my shortcoming of scarce chakra. Quote. Tamura Hao condensed an electric arc at his fingertips. With the chakra provided by Samahata, he relaxed a lot in the training of thunder attributes. Coupled with the understanding blessed by Golden Fingers and the Thunder God's sword, he finally completed the preliminary training, which was better than expected. Much faster. Is it done so soon? Yi Yurai was shocked. He had to know that it took him 5 years to achieve the change in the nature of thunder. How could his junior brother achieve it so quickly? Ever since I cultivated chakra, I have been exploring the changes in the nature of the thunder attribute. Although I didn't achieve much because of the wrong method, it was still a big accumulation. After getting the cultivation experience and methods from the teacher and brother and with the assistance of the Thunder God Sword, it was a matter of course. Quote, Tamura Hao said that he had practiced in this area before and had a solid foundation. Sometimes you can't be too good, otherwise you will be easily doubted. Sure enough, after saying this, Yi Yurai suddenly understood and accepted this statement. Although your qualifications are very poor, your talent is top-notch. As long as you solve the shortcomings in chakra quantity, your future achievements will definitely be high. I feel deeply that this little junior brother's potential is really great. If it weren't for the shortcomings in chakra capacity, he would never be worse than those geniuses. Since that Yang Seal can help you, when you return to the village, I will ask a Uzumaki clan member to guide you in learning the sealing technique. Yaoi supports this, and the complete inheritance of the Uzumaki clan has been obtained by the junior brother. He is naturally qualified to practice all the sealing techniques above, and they will not stop him. Of course, except those forbidden arts, which are too dangerous, they don't need their junior brother to use those forbidden arts to risk his life in the future. Have there been any results from the investigation of the younger generation of geniuses in other ninja villages? Tamura Hao asked about the information about the geniuses of the ninja village. They had captured the ninjas of the 4 major ninja villages before, and they did not know if they had any valuable information from interrogation. When it comes to geniuses, there should be many familiar names. In other words, anyone who can excel in the future will be a genius. In the ninja world, there is no such thing as accumulation and success. A person's talent can be seen at a young age. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.